So that's pretty cool too.
And we are live.
Yo, what is up, everybody?
Hello.
Here it is, Awesome Talk, Season 2, Episode 5, on February 25th, 2014. Let's have a big clinky for tonight's show.
Quickie from
Almond
across
milk
the room.
box.
Clinky! So before we get started tonight, bullshitting about whatever we've got to bullshit, which is a lot of stuff, we're going to do it around the room. I am Rick.
I am John Lacki.
I am Mike Depko.
I am Sarah.
She is Sarah, and I would be, where is it? The Skype cam, correct?
Yes.
And I am Ryan.
He's the tallest dude that's ever been in that chair, so
That's
he's
right.
the one who actually gets his whole head
This is
in
just- I
that
was built
fucking
for this
camera.
fucking spot.
What scares me about Ryan sitting in that spot, though, is that he's gonna, be gone soon.
Listen, I need positive vibes.
Juicy,
No, don't start laying that trip on me. Let's just not even talk about it.
Juicy and Ooh Sith already in the chat.
Juicy and Ooth Sith. Jesus Christ.
Shut up!
I haven't even started
Just
drinking
shut
yet.
up! You need to start drinking to talk normally.
Sorry.
Everybody thank Juicy for the vegetable platter.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
And buy a ticket to the Roller Vixens next game. Sporting match.
Sporting. That sounds sporting.
Yes.
So tonight, Mike Depko is our guest, and we'd like to formally welcome him to the show tonight. I'm sorry, I've barely slept in days.
It's all right, thanks.
So,
Thanks for having me.
thanks for being here. I hope you're ready for this.
Yeah, we didn't have
I'm ready.
stuff to play, but Last Days of Empire,
Last Days Vampire.
Torild,
Torild.
however you want to say it.
Just
Says
Yeah, I'll just make up some other word.
Just say it, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Stop making fun of my Star Wars-ness today.
I don't know. I can't. I don't know why. I can't help it today.
I know, it's fucked up.
Was it like on overdrive or something?
It seemed to be in the past couple hours he amped up his making fun of my Star Wars.
I don't know why. I've been really, really tired and
And it just makes me hate you, Sarah.
Well, no, I have certain parts of my brain that turn on to certain things that I can't turn off. And one of the things is
Well,
now
that
I'm
is that.
picking on you about Star Wars. And I don't know why. But didn't we watch Star Wars?
I made him watch Empire Strikes Back riff track.
But it was the Riff Tracks version.
Nice.
So that was way more awesome.
We totally fucking fucked up the fact that we were introducing him and then changed it to the fact that you're being a dick to
You went,
me.
guys, hi, this is Mike Depko. So
Anyway,
Star
yeah, what
Wars.
the fuck? That's kind of shitty.
Oh, no, all I said was Obi-Wan Kenobi. You ran with
You
it.
started the whole shit.
Mm-hmm.
We got 3 hours. It's.
That's true.
We have
There's
so
a
much
lot
time.
of time to talk about
I'm
Star
not
Wars.
offended by losing out to Star Wars,
Good man.
especially Empire. It's fine.
Now,
Good man.
If you're gonna lose to a Star Wars, you want to be losing to Empire.
That's right.
who in here is a Star Wars, like a Star Wars fan?
It's it.
Okay, so there's something that we got to talk about then, immediately, right off the bat.
Okay.
Next Star Wars movie. Yes, it's being directed by J.J. Abrams. But now that Disney owns Star Wars, is it going to be better, worse, and why?
I don't think
Better
it's gonna
or worse
matter.
than what?
I don't think that matters at all.
Well, you go ahead, define it.
Wait, better or worse than what? Than the originals
than
and
the
the
first
prequels?
six?
Are you equally as excited to go see it? Because are you worried? And if you're worried, why are you worried?
When I heard that J.J. Abrams was directing it, I was excited because I know that when he's a hardcore fan of something, he tries to make it for the fans. He also put R2-D2 in the first Star Trek movie.
That's true.
It is true. I remember when we found out about it, we're like, yeah, that's fucking amazing. I can't find it. Where is it? We're retarded. But anyway, but after all the shit Disney's done about the expanded universe and trying to sort of just erase like 3 decades of I almost don't want to see the movie just because of how angry I am for them slaughtering so much history. Like,
So why did they get rid of it though?
they're
what was
like,
their-
there's too much stuff. Like, we're gonna have a guy that decides what is and isn't canon. It's like, so there's just one dude based on what he likes is gonna decide what books are part of the official storyline. I think that's bullshit because George Lucas was he screened every Star Wars novel and said, yes, I want this story. No, that's not okay in this universe. This is okay. So if he sells that fucking storyline, he is selling all those things he approved. Fuck you, Disney.
That's true. A freaking planet landed on Chewbacca. That's all I know. In the extended universe.
Dude,
How bad of a
spoiler
day is
alert.
that? Jesus.
That's a pretty shitty day.
That's a shitty day. I got hit by a planet.
Chewbacca died fulfilling his life debt. He died handing Han's son to him as a fucking moon crash down and killed him. So, you know, whatever.
I don't know.
Did the baby live?
Yes.
Yes.
Bump in Mike Depko.
Oh, hey.
Boom.
I don't know. I was a little nervous, obviously. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing too for our generation. You're going to kind of see this whole new trilogy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The prequels, you know, not amazing, but very cool to go see. Like, I saw Return of the Jedi when I was a kid, the original.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
5 years old, going to it, and obviously I did all the prequels at midnight, all the re-releases at midnight, all that stuff, multiple times in one day. I was a little nervous because, like what you're saying, like we don't really know where it's going to go. And I got into the Star Trek movies late. I never cared about Star Trek because I was like Star Wars, and I feel like J.J. Abrams is good enough if he just does the Star Trek formula. I think you'll have good movies.
Right.
Right.
Are they going to be like great for Star Wars freaks? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like if he kind of, I like the Star Trek movies, and I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
They're
I
awesome.
love his
They're
Star
awesome.
Trek. I loved his Star Trek movies. I thought they were fucking fantastic.
If they look the same and it's familiar, I think it'll be a whole new idea of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he'll throw in stuff for
Can I bump in for a
the
sec?
fans.
Yeah, you're bumped in.
I have
It's a virtual bump in.
It's a virtual
my
bump
opinion
in.
of the new fucking Star Wars movies comes down to 3 criteria. 1, J.J. Abrams. Okay. 2, lightsabers. Okay. 3, fighting with lightsabers in a J.J. Abrams movie. I'm in.
Oh, I can't be heard apparently, which is rare.
Yeah, she can't be heard. That second mic should be cranked way up.
All right.
One thing gave me hope. One of the women that worked on Empire is actually working on this movie, and she said it's not going to be all CGI, so you guys don't have to worry about that.
That was
Yeah.
my biggest problem with the prequels, I think, is it looks,
Yeah.
in the theater, I don't think you notice it as much, but when you watch it at home on a TV, stuff just kind of, it's like they're not there. They're walking down hallways, and you can tell they're walking just like 5 feet.
It looks
you know what I mean?
superimposed.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's the thing, if we can get, like, I want Muppets back, you know what I mean? I want, like,
Yeah.
just, like, things that you can interact with.
I mean,
Well,
like-
dude, Sweetums died.
I know.
Jim Henson's son.
I know.
Oh,
Somebody
Sweetums.
here
I know.
who did Sweetums.
And died
Dead.
young, too. Those
He's like
freaking-
49, I think.
Yeah, those poor Hensons, man. Like, what
I know.
happens?
Well, they were once IT guys, and then they're just
That's
driving
what
away.
it was.
Fucking IT guys.
We'll never get another tech again.
We just pan over there. There's like a puppet, like just behind the thing. Like,
A
"Hey, guys."
sad
That's what
puppet.
we should do. We should have a puppet run the whole thing.
Holy fuck, that'd be so much better. At least that'd be reliable.
It would.
Probably.
The ventriloquist dummy we wanted to.
No, these are like the fucking exploding drummers from Spinal
Yeah,
Tap.
dude, that's what I'm saying.
Can't keep one guy in one place. The fuck's the dealio?
I don't know.
We're gonna have to cage him again.
Yeah.
You look over, it's just a skeleton with headphones
Yeah.
At least the skeleton's
At
reliable.
least
at
they
least it's
stick
there.
around.
Yeah, they don't go anywhere. What's the dealio?
God, the shows never sound better.
Yeah. So,
Usif, Disney owns Marvel, and the Marvel movies are awesome.
Oh, that's the other thing. Dark Horse has made Star Wars comics forever, and now Marvel's
Yeah.
gonna take over
That's
Star Wars
pretty
comics.
fucked up.
I'm probably more worried about than the movies because I don't feel like that's gonna be insane
Yeah.
at all. It's gonna get weird and superhero-y and just uncomfortable.
Dark Horse was doing that stuff before there was any expanded universe. Like,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
dude, they
Like
did
Dark
it
Empire and all that
forever.
stuff. Like, all that stuff just came out when nothing else was out. You know, and to have it for so long, and now all of a sudden it's
I
just
know.
like nothing.
Did you
That's
guys?
shitty.
Did you guys happen to see? I don't recall if I think it might have been just a fan film. I'm not sure. It looked really official though, but it was just I guess it was kind of like a pitch for the if J.J. Abrams was going to do a new one, and somebody did a real quick scene with like a short person in a brown hood just walking through one of the ports to one of the airlock screens in a fucking shuttle bay somewhere in a space station. And they're walking, and the music's awesome, and the robes are real good, high def, everything.
The robes are real good.
Everything
Best Star Wars review
No,
ever.
yeah.
Robes are
Robes.
real good.
Sound like a good
Everything was
rope.
legit. Like you're just watching it, and you're like, like you get that instant like, oh my god, this is Star Wars. You know what I mean? I'm just like, ooh, and like, dude, it was really sick. And some dude just jumps out of nowhere with a lightsaber behind the shorty, and they start fighting and going at it, and he disarms them. And the short person gets up and pulls the hood off, and it's a kid, and it's a girl. and the guy who's pointing the lightsaber at her goes, "You have much to learn, young Solo."
Jesus.
And then fade to black.
Oh, so that would be Jaina Solo.
This movie sounds like it's pimping to me. I mean, it's got the
Yeah,
good
but
robes,
see,
the
but
shorties,
that's based
the
on
lightsabers in the
But
face.
the problem is that's based on the expanded universe that Disney is slowly eradicating.
Why are they eradicating it though? What's the
Jaina
point?
is
Like is the point to
unemployed.
reduce it to keep it
It got
easier
too
to
big,
understand?
right?
Like,
Well,
is
the
too many.
point is that if they keep that as part of canon, it means that they don't have room to make their story. Han and Leia do have twins according to the expanded universe and a son, and all this shit already happened, so they have to make movies based on the stories that are already there, unless they say, well, those don't fucking count anymore. And then they just
Oof.
make whatever the fuck they want, and Leia's a lesbian, and, like, they adopt some
Up and
alien
down, black and
babies,
white.
and all kinds of shit happens, you know, just because Disney decided, and Johnny Depp's in it, and there's space
Oh, no.
pirates, whatever the fuck. That's gonna be terrible.
Well, I think too, it's probably Disney comes in. It's to make it all more accessible for little kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
like,
big part of it,
normally.
yeah.
That Dark Horse stuff and all those Shadows of the Empire and all that was really like a little more violent, a little more dark.
Yeah.
They don't want that. They want Chewbacca
Yeah.
and Jar Jar Binks. You know what I mean?
True.
That's true.
But should that be the case? I mean, like you were saying, you saw the first Star Wars or Return of the Jedi when you were 5 in the movie theater. So I think growing up, there was this sort of thing where adults, their entertainment was just oldies stuff. Like there was this mentality. But this generation has kind of grown up with things that have evolved with us. Like if you take the first Harry Potter and you put it against the last Harry Potter, you're looking at a very
Totally
adult
different. Yeah.
movie at the end versus a kid's movie in the
Also
beginning.
different directors, though.
Yeah, but
With
they
huge different styles.
they make it more mature as it goes
True,
as
yeah.
it goes forward.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it
So the
I mean, is
question
that to say, is
the
this
new
generation
Star Wars
spent-
movie, should it be made for children
Should it be
or
made for
adults?
kids?
Which would make more money?
Well, I think if he goes with the Star Trek formula, that's
Yeah.
accessible to an adult
Yeah.
or to a kid or a tween, whatever you want to call it. A kid, whatever.
The problem is I think kids like the stuff that we don't really love. As people that grew up with it, I mean, we
Right.
weren't huge fans of the prequels and things like that. I mean, kids like it,
Well,
so
that
it's
was
like-
their first real taste to it as well.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
What would hurt is the day they decide to remake the originals. Oh, it's gonna kill
It's gonna
me.
happen.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
everybody in this room knows that's fucking gonna happen.
It's
and
gonna
it
be
is
it's gonna
hurt
horrible.
so bad.
Yeah.
Like,
God.
Nothing could possibly be worse than what they already did when they re-released the originals. Okay.
Oh yeah, when they edited all the scene, people were pissed about that.
I was
Yeah.
furious about that. I went to see that shit.
It was weird.
It was really weird.
It's odd.
It was really. I mean, that's like you grew up with that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
did you know that originally they tried to sneak the Backstreet Boys in one of the
It was in sync, wasn't it?
It was either in sync of the Backstreet Boys. They tried to sneak them into one of the first
Jabba's
3
Palace,
movies.
right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and it got pulled at like the last minute, like because somebody was like, "Yeah, this is a bad fucking idea," and
really, only one guy thought that.
I think it was one dude.
They're like,
He was like the janitor. He was mopping by. He's like, "Hey, by the way, that idea sucks."
He was
Don't do
the
that,
only
guys.
one who had the balls to say that
Yeah.
to Lucas, and he was promptly fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But Lucas fired him. He was like, "But I think he's got a point."
He's got a point though.
You know what? This movie already has enough bad ideas. Let's just take
Yeah,
one out.
I agree with
Like,
Lou's Sith
just
about
relax.
that. I
But-
do think it's kind of shitty that
Mike's over here.
Lucas was like, "Oh well, I'm done with this shit now. Here you go, Disney." After saying he would never sell it,
Yeah.
I agree, and especially to Disney, he had to know of everyone he could sell it to. Selling it to Disney was the riskiest
Wait a minute,
thing
but-
to his storyline, and keeping it.
Do you think he gives a shit though?
No, I don't think he gives a fuck about anything. What was his
I
role
don't
in
know
the?
because I mean, there's like well over 100 Star Wars books, and he oversaw that the storyline was a certain way. You have to have a lot of because listen, I have gone through about 130 Star Wars books. Now, I may or may not be proud of saying that out loud, but it's true. And I can tell you that
Anything
a
worth
lot
doing
of
is worth
them,
doing right.
That's normal.
and I can tell you that there are a lot of them that are painful.
Sure.
So he has some fucking dedication, all right, and it comes from somewhere. He must love something about
Yeah.
it, you know, to care enough to be like, no, that's never happening.
Well, I mean, then it's just something we could talk about too. Like, I'm in the middle of making a story as well, but nothing as vast as like literally creating a universe.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And if think of how long ago, 40 years basically, he probably started it. There's so much like
Makes Lord of the Rings look pussy.
Yeah, like he's so invested in it. Like he knows every nuance of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really deep to think of something that vast and creative. I mean, it's pretty awesome. But then to trust other people to run with it,
It's scary.
it is scary.
Yeah, but Lucas, you were talking about whether or not he gives a shit. Didn't he had some? I don't. Forgive me, but I don't understand.
I don't forgive. I don't forgive.
Thank you, appreciate that. What was his role in the last Indiana Jones movie? He had a hand in that, right?
He did.
It was George Lucas and partnered up
Same
with.
role that he had in the first one, basically.
Okay, well, see, I didn't know.
I
if
refuse
he-
They
to
got
watch
the old
it.
band together
Yeah, it was
and
directed,
rock
right?
band.
I won't
But-
watch the
I didn't even see it.
But if you
And
see
Aaron wrote it
refuse
and
to have it
Spielberg.
ruined.
If you've ever, did you see the last?
Yes.
Okay, so you understand that it makes sense that
It's my
Vicky
favorite
doesn't
one.
give a fuck.
No, it's really good.
Dude, stop! You stop it!
I
When
loved
the
it.
CGI monkeys
That
and
Shia LaBeouf was great.
he was really.
I love the way he combed his hair to the side and wore that leather jacket.
He's
That
like the
was
Fonz for our
groundbreaking.
generation. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That's what we really needed.
I
He's pretty
refuse to
Fonzarelli.
watch that movie and have it ruined.
You've
my
never seen
love
it?
of
No,
it.
she's
No,
never seen it.
I will not watch
You
it
are-
because
come
I
you
on,
are
know,
so
you gotta
lucky.
see it.
I didn't see
You
it.
gotta see it.
I know
Oh my
it's
God,
gonna
you
be
guys are
so
good.
bad that I'm gonna be like, listen.
It is on another level.
It's the way
It is
I
pretty
believe
bad.
that
It's
Christian Bale ruined Batman.
Oh.
Go ahead. That's how to start a fight.
I like Christian Bale.
I like Christian
I've
Bale.
American
started this
Psycho's the
fight.
shit.
I've started this
Yeah.
fight so many times on this show.
And so's
It's
Newsies, by the
amazing.
way. I'll say it out loud. Fuck it. Fuck everybody. Newsies is the shit.
This is the shit.
Newsies is scary because he looks like Christian Bale, just this big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like exactly the same person.
Well, his head is still the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit his
Baby
body.
body Bale head.
Baby, hashtag baby body Bale head.
Baby body.
I can't believe I got that all. I can't say a sentence
Right.
clearly, but I can do that shit.
That was pretty
Not to get into it, but you really didn't like him as Batman?
No.
Wow.
I don't like.
Why
well,
not?
all right, listen.
Well,
I know.
besides,
Might be
besides all the
because-
yelling. I mean,
It might be
my God.
because he hurt John Connor so much that I'm biased.
Okay, well.
But
I never saw that.
I just don't think
people
he
are
was
so
the
good at
we
best.
could have a
seeing
whole
shit.
show on Terminator
I can't
if you
help
want.
it.
I just-
I'm deep in it.
I'm deep too.
Wait, you're
We're
deep into what?
All right, what
Terminator.
about Sarah Connor Chronicles? How
You
do
know,
feel
here's
about
what's
that?
interesting.
This
Again,
will be interesting.
that kind of came out a little bit after the third one. I didn't get into it. I didn't
You
watch
didn't?
it. Nope.
It was good
Because to
The
me,
third one was the
I have to
shit.
tell you.
because to me, not to. I mean,
Wait, the
whatever.
third what?
Terminator.
The
Terminator.
second Terminator was the shit.
No.
No.
Hold on.
They're joking.
We'll get into that, but let him finish.
What I'm saying, for me, because that story really means a lot to me. Even all the stuff that I do now, the bands and this, that, and the other, that's like probably the most influential story.
Terminator 2?
Terminator, the
Okay,
original.
Terminator.
It's my all-time favorite movie.
Dude.
The first one,
It's
hands
one of the
down.
most intense
Oh, yeah,
apocalyptics.
But
Yeah.
the thing to me is like the reason why I didn't get into Sarah Connor Chronicles is because after Terminator 2, there is no more story. It's over. And now they're just okay. Let's just keep sending something back. It's like this
They're
is boring.
backtracking.
This is boring.
Yeah.
They're
And
making another one too.
I don't know if you guys saw the new Terminator comic.
They're trying to pretend that the
Well,
fourth one.
hold on.
never happened.
But I have a question for you.
Fucking Christ.
If you take the way the second one ends, you've got a hopeful ending. If you take even a third movie at all, you've got a completely unhopeful ending.
Well,
Yeah.
So-
what I'm saying is, if you after you watch Terminator 2, there shouldn't be a third movie.
Because they destroyed
It's over.
Yeah, it's
everything, right?
Now, then you have Terminator 3, where it's like, okay, we're just going to send back a shitty Terminator and a really good one again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
And
pretty
I don't know if did you guys see the new? I just found it today. The new Terminator comic.
I actually have
It's
them.
like right before he sends Kyle Reese back. So that's
Okay.
kind of interesting.
That's cool.
So it's like right after it's called Terminator Salvation, but that's kind of interesting to read in a movie. Like to me, it's over
insane
after
how
part
many
2.
Terminator comics there are.
Right.
And how many crossover Terminator comics there are.
I remember RoboCop versus Terminator.
Yep.
Like
Dude,
back in the
The
day.
Super Nintendo game was
so
amazing.
many.
Oh, yeah, I remember
It
that.
had that hard plastic box. Oh,
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah, it's
The
awesome.
thing
I don't know
like
how we
about,
got from Christian Bale.
Do we have that on the GameCube?
Great.
because I
We
said
got a
Christian
GameCube in the
Bale
other
ruined
room.
John Connor.
All right. Okay.
There is no one in this world that could be like, oh, hey, who would make a really good John Connor right now? And anyone, anywhere
Well, who
would
would've
be
been better than him?
like, Christian Bale.
For that movie, who would have been better than him?
For an
Because the movie's not good. There's
No,
a lot of problems with that
it's not
movie.
there.
But who would have made a better one?
What's his face from
Is
That
he too
Irish
old?
dude.
He's not too old. He's just, you know, John Connor always came across as the reluctant hero who did this because he kind of was told this is what he's gonna do.
By his insane mother.
Yeah,
Insane mother.
And actually, the thing that I thought redeemed the third Terminator
That bitch was
the way
prepared.
it ended.
Yes.
Just the last 5 minutes. It was like, that
Of
was when
Terminator
you
3?
see him go from being this sort of reluctant John Connor to the,
All right, I
this
gotta do
is
this.
the moment that you just became, the kind of, when he sat down at that speaker and started talking to the guy, it was like, he's in charge now.
Yeah,
He
that
just
was-
became
was
the
awesome.
leader
That
of
was actually
everybody.
like the saving grace of that movie.
Yes.
I was
I just want to say thank you to
love that,
Usith.
yeah.
Usith for the "don't just stare at it, eat it" comment. Thank you very much.
Nice.
American Psycho for life. And by the way, Equilibrium for life. He was awesome in Equilibrium.
Yeah,
That's an
Equilibrium
extremely
was one of my
underrated
all-time.
movie.
That
It was an
Kurt
underrated
Wimmer.
movie.
That was a great flick.
What about The Machinist? Did
Yeah.
you see that?
Oh,
Oh,
shit,
that
was
was
sick.
creepy. That was
Yeah.
a creepy
I just
fucking
watched that
flick,
again.
yeah.
That was the movie he lost all that weight
Yes,
for, and he
yes,
was like
like-
emaciated.
He
Pounds or
was
something.
real. Yeah, he was scary skinny in that
Yes.
flick.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's just weird in that movie too. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and he
Very
nails it too.
that's awesome.
I
Yeah,
really did.
You know, it's a very arty kind of film.
Who knew he would grow up to ruin John Connor?
They should have
And
had
apparently
John
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have had John Connor in that movie for like 5 minutes, just at in the fourth one. If you're gonna put him in it, you just didn't need him in that movie at all. You could have just switched everything over to the other guy. You know what I mean? The one that finds out he's a fucking
Marcus.
Terminator. Yes.
Dude, we went to see that movie together, and we
I know.
both walked out going,
What did we do?
oh, yeah, I remember someone in front of us went, holy shit, that was the best fucking movie I've ever seen. And I was like, really? Are you fucking, have you seen any other movies ever? Any movies better.
I've never seen a movie, and that was the best movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was a horrible,
That
horrible.
was real bad.
So yeah, the people that have the rights to Terminator now are actually rebooting another trilogy as though the fourth never happened. And I am so happy about that. That is a good decision. It is a good decision to be like, yeah, just forget.
It would be cool if
Sorry
at
about
some
that.
point James Cameron was involved. I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
It would.
I don't actually
Don't worry.
remember the company who bought the rights for the next.
All I remember is Carol Co. That little like scene.
Carol Co.
The struggle is real. Struggle's a clown wants to make an action film.
Struggles a clown is a dude on the poster right there.
That struggle's a clown. It's real.
He's definitely
You don't know
not
what it's
fake.
Later on in the episode, we're going to play a bunch of getting to knows, and you'll get to know Struggles T. Clown.
Oh, good lord.
Struggles Theodore Clown.
Theodore.
So,
What the fuck are you? Oh, the vegetables.
if you had to see a sequel for a comedy, what would it be? Can I throw mine out there? There we go.
Blazing Saddles.
I just wanted to say that. No, it wasn't Blazing Saddles. But I did come up with a good idea for a Blazing Saddles remake, but I'm not going to
We
get into it.
already
We already
talked about
did that one.
We already talked about that.
How great would it be to have Austin Powers, another sequel of Austin Powers?
I
Another
don't know
one.
how
What
great
are we
that
on?
would
Like
be.
the billionth?
4. There'd be Austin
I think I
Powers 4.
stopped after the second. I don't think I've seen any other ones.
But Goldmember was the shit.
I don't even know how many there are now.
3. There are 3.
3?
Mhm.
Okay.
that would be cool.
I think it'd be awesome, right?
Yeah.
Because Seth Green is going to take over in Dr. Evil's spot because Dr. Evil's a good guy now.
All right, I would watch it if Seth Green took over as that. Like that would make me watch.
Well, that's how the third one ends. It's Seth Green. Remember, he's bald and he's laughing like this at the end, and Dr. Evil turns out to be Austin Powers' like twin brother or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
and yeah,
His Faja.
his Faja.
I
Sorry,
don't know.
don't speak
What would you
freaky
pick?
Dutch.
Sequel for a
I'm
comedy?
thinking about this.
Yeah.
So many comedies have sequels.
Yeah.
And I'm trying
Yeah,
to think
most
of
A lot of the good
Comedies,
ones
too.
have them, and
That's true.
this is a
The obvious, of course, Dumb and Dumber 2.
Which is in production
Yeah.
right now,
It's coming out.
and they did do the prequel, Dumb and Dumber, which was
It was bad, but you know what? I loved that fucking dude who played Lloyd.
Yeah, it was
He was
pretty spot on.
fantastic. He was fantastic as Lloyd. He did a great fucking Jim Carrey impersonation for that movie.
yeah, man.
I thought he was really good. He was the same guy from Beer Fest. I remember when I had my first sip of beer.
Yeah.
I never got into
He was really good in that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I liked that simply because the two guys sold the characters. The movie itself was dumber than fucking shit. Like, it was awful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And not dumber in like a way that went
not
along
like-
with the movie, like
but
a shitty way.
It was completely devoid of any and all plot or thought, but those two guys did a really good job recreating those characters as young men. I thought that was really funny the way that they did that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea. I think about like comedies that I love,
Like what?
like Office Space or Rushmore.
Yeah.
Rushmore,
Dead Man on Campus, which we
Dead
always
Man
say
on
is
Campus
so
is a
underrated.
classic.
But then I think
You know,
I still quote that movie. I got
I
some
quote
beers.
it all
Let's
the
drink them. I
time.
love
You
beers.
know
Let's
it's
drink them.
Unbelievable.
I know this her. Her name's Carl, and she's beautiful.
You have no idea how many times I say, I can hear my heartbeat through my penis. And I
Hey,
feel so happy when someone knows where it's
a math award.
But then I imagine, like, does it need a sequel? It doesn't really. Like,
Well,
you know, like,
Maybe, I don't know about a sequel, but two movies I think it'd be cool to see more of. And I know one they're working on is Beetlejuice.
yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. It's Lydia
That's a winner.
27 years old in it.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's Michael Keaton.
Wait, how old is Lydia?
Lydia's gonna be 27 in it, and yeah, she said she.
Is it still Winona Ryder?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
her and Michael
she
Keaton.
said
yeah.
that she absolutely would refuse to do the movie unless Michael Keaton was in it.
Yeah.
Well, Michael Keaton just said yes, so that's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
enough.
There's
So
one
it is.
that's cool, and then there's a movie that I love that was totally underrated. I remember going to see it opening night. It was like I was one of like 5 people in the theater. It was Just Friends. You guys seen Just Friends?
No, haven't
It's
seen
with
it.
Ryan Reynolds, and it takes place in New Jersey,
Okay.
and it's about it's about getting stuck.
Do you need another beer?
Yeah, sure. It's about getting stuck. He's like a LA music film producer kind of guy, and he's from New Jersey. And he's real fat, and the whole beginning of the movie is a big fat suit.
I did that with Amy
Movie's-
Smart.
yeah, the movie's
and,
awesome. Thank you.
That was really fucked up.
It's
That
really
movie was
funny.
so raunchy. Yeah,
And then he
it
gets
was-
all like skinny and good looking,
Yeah.
and he's this big LA guy. And Anna Faris is in it, but she's probably her funniest in that. And then
Oh,
they
yeah.
get stuck in New Jersey for Christmas.
Okay.
It's we appreciate it because we're from here,
Yeah.
but it's a really underrated.
It sounds to me
Really
like one of
funny
those,
movie.
like one of those comedies that was sort of accidentally really funny.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about the movie Bedazzled the other day,
Right.
which had Elizabeth Hurley
The other
and.
really funny
oh,
movie.
yeah.
It was really fucking funny, but it felt like when you're watching it, it's like accidentally, like it's just, it
Like
was
you didn't
supposed to
tell
be a
you when you watched
shitty
Yeah, that's true.
flick type of shit,
Yeah.
but it ends up being fucking Brendan Fraser. That's
Yeah,
the
Brendan
name is,
Fraser.
I
right?
said that.
The part where he's playing guitar on the beach with all the freckles and he's crying.
Yeah.
You can die during that part.
One of my
wanna-
favorite comedies is Stuck on You. No one else seems to enjoy it as much as
that
I do.
one
I don't
was
know what
good.
movie that is.
What's Stuck on You?
That's
That was
Frank
with,
Kinnear and
Matt Damon.
Oh, I love that
The
fucking
Siamese
movie. I
twins.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. The scene where they're
never
boxing
seen
together
it.
is
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
I want to see Wet Hot American Summer too.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
Boom. That has to fucking happen. Original cast. It's all the
best.
people from the state. It's their movie.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
I want all of them
It's really fun.
That's
reuniting
my
for
favorite
part
movie
2.
of all
Okay, if you could get one person from the state on this show, who would it be?
Michael Showalter.
Michael Ian Black.
I'd probably say him, or was it Ken Marino?
I
Dude,
probably.
it's rough.
I would want to go for Michael Ian Black. I like Ken too, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
have to,
Ken
I have
Marino's
to say, I
good.
think David
Marino's
Wayne
really
would be.
funny.
David Wayne would probably
David
be
Wayne
the
would
best.
be
David
really
Wayne
good.
would probably
Yeah.
be the best on the show live drinking for 3 hours.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the night he'd end up making out with Stones.
Another one of my favorite comedies is Baxter. I mean, come on.
Yes.
That movie's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Movie.
So good. What was that one? The 10?
Yeah,
That was good too.
that was Paul Rudd.
10, yeah.
That was almost
movie.
everyone
That
from
was
the
That
almost
was
state.
the
everyone,
Yeah.
state, yeah, from another state.
I
movie,
feel like
yeah.
I saw that
Whoa,
with you too.
that's everybody from the state with Paul Rudd?
Yeah, Paul.
Yeah.
dude,
Fucking
it's-
amazing.
Fuck yeah, it's-
Mine,
Did you ever
boom.
see it?
yeah.
No, I never saw
It's
it.
about
It's
the Ten
good.
Commandments.
Commandments.
Each commandment, they do a story based
Oh,
off
man,
of the
it's a
Ten
good
Commandments.
movie.
Fucking awesome.
And it's just
They're like all different sketches.
Yeah,
It's really
they're
good.
all different sketches based off of each commandment. And it's just all the people from the state and Paul Rudd. And it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
That's fucking
It's
crazy.
That's a good
absolutely
movie.
unbelievable, dude.
He's a good addition to things.
Yes.
He actually fits in well with the state.
He's Ant-Man. He got cast as Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Explain
That's right,
Ant-Man.
he did that. Yeah, Ant-Man. And,
Can you explain
Guardians,
Ant-Man
right?
to me?
No,
As some
I can't.
as someone that knows nothing about
Everybody
comics,
did.
like I understand it exists. I just don't know why or how.
Ant-Man was a scientist.
Okay.
And
He could be big or small.
He tried to increase, he
Most
Something like
he
that.
produced a machine that could shrink things, and he used it to shrink himself big or small, and
Shrink himself big or small.
Wasn't there like
That's
later on,
Ant-Man
it
is-
What's
became
up on Bigger Smalls?
Later on in the series, he reversed it and became like a giant.
Yeah.
That was his new, and then he also went evil and became the Wasp. And
Man, that's a secret.
That's a weird
Yeah.
Why are we
crossover.
not picking a bug and making a movie about it? I want to make the stink bug. We'll wrap Andrew up with some Taco Bell and just let him fart his way through the whole.
actually,
Kick
did
him
you
around the
know,
room.
interesting fun fact, Ant-Man is the first comic book character to ever have an issue of spousal abuse.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
There was a comic where the Ant-Man slapped his wife.
Well, hold on.
And
Who's a superhero that's married other than Ant-Man?
married.
Right?
I mean, Spider-Man gets married at one point.
yeah, doesn't he?
Oh, he's so docile.
Oh, he definitely
He's so
wouldn't,
docile.
Like, I figure someone with an anger man, like the Hulk.
Wolverine gets married at one point.
Yeah, he does.
Bruce Wayne gets married.
I
at one point.
feel like the Hulk would probably slap his wife around once in a
Yeah,
while.
smash.
Yeah.
Even if by accident.
You know
And
what
then
you're
he'd
getting
buy her
into, though.
flowers for like a month after, like, does he feel
Well, I mean,
Like,
I
oh
mean,
shit, I'm so
himself.
sorry about this.
If you
I don't know
ma-
why I got mad about the towels being hung.
If you married
Incorrectly.
the Hulk, you have to be
Straight.
a little bit of an obvious submissive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you married the Hulk, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. I would like to say that it's funny to me that Struggles T. Clown, of all people, brought up that Michael Ian Black, because everything he's been in was canceled, but he keeps trying. He's an inspiration.
That's true. Most things have been canceled that
That's
he's
good.
in.
That's good. That Struggles
That's
wrote
funny.
that. That's great.
That's a great quote. we gotta put that on the old Facebooker.
Who says fuck stink bugs? Hashtag fuck stink bugs.
There was one dive bombing us in the last episode.
Right, Char.
They want to keep superheroes' lives depressing. I mean, Bruce Wayne had a depressing childhood, but I
Who does he marry?
don't think he had a depressing.
Isn't he? Is he married, or is he was with Talia al Ghul for a long time and they killed?
Oh, yeah, okay.
But they just killed. Sorry, I'm gonna.
No, go for it.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
No, please.
This
Because I
This is
don't
what we're here
know.
for.
Yeah.
Talia al Ghul, hell yeah.
Yeah. And they had Damian Wayne. They killed him recently.
That's his. That's
Wow.
a good.
Yeah, he was another Robin.
Oh, okay.
So it was
Yeah.
a whole
Two men.
killing of another Robin.
Is this Robin thing necessary?
Robins.
Robin seems like a completely
Well,
unnecessary
there were
thing.
several Robins.
Why are there so many fucking Robins? And why does he have to be a Robin?
know.
Can't you just pick your own
Because
bird?
there's
Like I'm
only-
ostrich.
And then, well,
Because there's only
Olive
one
Robin
Batman,
became
that's why.
Oh well.
He's in Nighthawk, right? Nighthawk.
Nightwing.
Or Nightwing.
That's not. Is that the same thing?
Yeah,
though?
Nightwing.
Well,
is
he
the
got.
Dark
He
Wing.
was like.
The original
he
Robin
became,
grows up,
Okay.
leaves Gotham City, and becomes Nightwing.
and he's like.
Badass.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
bad. Like, you're like, wow, this dude was Robin? Like,
What's up, hot team? Welcome, dude.
What up, buddy?
Good
team.
to see you, man.
There we go.
Mr. Gegita.
Alright, cool.
Awesome. So
And Red Hood.
Red Hood.
Red what?
Red Hood.
Oh, under the red hood. Yeah, did you see that?
God, that movie was so
one's
good.
yeah.
What about Man Bat? Man Bat's an afterthought.
Man Bat was just a scientist
Yeah.
dude that was like obsessed with bats.
Look,
and
once
worked for
Batman
Bruce
has been
Wayne.
out, don't you think Man Bat's an unnecessary thing?
Yes, and it's
Doesn't seem
kind
to
of
be.
just
It doesn't need to be a thing. I used to have a Man Bat
Man
like
Bat episode.
like trading card, and I was like, "What is this?" This is like No Frills Batman.
no, he
it's
was
like
like
the-
an old scientist guy that was obsessed with bat powers.
It just seemed like a Batman, but it
Oh, no,
leaned
no,
more
no.
bat rather than man, rather than vice versa.
Like Man Spider.
Or exactly, or Man Robin, or Man Superman.
Man. He has the power of a man.
Well, but everyone thinks Robin
Just a-
is
just a
like.
regular
Just a
man. Not a bodybuilder, not a ultimate fighter,
Regular guy.
regular man.
Like Robin comes off a little frilly, but when you see the backstory of like, I
Sounds
mean,
a little,
the
you know.
costume and everything, his family was in the circus.
Right.
Like
Whose family?
Robin's, like that's why he
That's why
has
he
the
looks-
stupid.
This is a whole fucking
That's
lesson
why
for me.
he has
This is
the
amazing.
stupid
He's got the
leotard and the whole
Christ,
He's
yeah.
got the lame
Yeah.
costume.
Yeah,
Because he's a
that's why.
trapeze artist.
Yeah,
Oh, for
that's
God.
what he's a
Well, Rodney
trapeze
can't
artist.
choose his own new. Look, Alfred can make all kinds of shit happen. You can't get Robin a fucking respectable
Alfred can't fucking drum up a needle and thread.
Yeah, you know.
He was
Dude,
just
Alfred
to
is
work.
fucking- I'm sorry.
patent leather Alfred, maybe.
Dude, I'm sorry, but Alfred is a badass, and one thing I have to say is that I hate how many Batman franchises downplay how badass he really is.
Yeah.
Like, that dude is fucking awesome, and I hate when they don't utilize his awesomeness properly. Also, that Batman show, Beware the Batman, that Cartoon Network recently came out with.
Yeah.
Let me just get my anger out
The anger.
about
Here it
the
comes.
fact that
Let it go. Pour it out like a volcano
when
of
I
rage.
heard that show was coming out, I was so excited because what I read was we're making this for adults. This is not a children's fucking thing. And then that dumb dick had to go and shoot people in the fucking movie theater, and then they came out and said we're revising the amount of violence in the show based on the blah blah blah. And it's like, oh, so he's just basically just gonna ruin Batman for every fucking one because he's an asshole. That's so shitty. Like, I'm sorry, if I dressed up as Betty White and killed a bunch of people, I don't think they would be like, we're gonna take Golden Girls.
I think
off
Betty
the
White would think it's gangster if you did. She's fucking awesome.
I'm
Betty White would be like, hey, sometimes you just gotta pop a cap in some people.
All of a sudden, Golden Girls repeats off the air, or they're censored.
Oh, God.
They just put a black bar over Betty White and cut her voice out.
Don't worry, dearie. I remember once I shot some bitch my husband was sleeping with.
Betty White is awesome.
She's gangster as fuck.
She
She's
is.
awesome. I love Betty White.
I wish they'd hurry up with stem cells so they could keep her alive longer.
Yeah, right?
Because she's fucking funny.
Oh, it crushed me when B. Arthur died.
Yeah, that's
like-
bad.
Yeah, that's
Estelle Getty, too.
I've always wanted to see B. Arthur's
Estelle Getty
Broadway
was
show.
a family.
That
Was a
dream
friend
died.
of a family member. We used to
Yeah, your
see-
grandma was friends with Estelle Getty, right?
Mario's grandma was friend. She used to always be
Okay.
at Massa every year. I knew her. My dad knew her and stuff, and like we used to talk to her all the time.
What was she like?
She was the youngest one on the show. Like you would
Yeah.
never recognize. her.
What?
Yeah,
You'd
she's
never
the
recognize
youngest.
her. That was all makeup. It was all fake.
Holy shit!
She was not an actual old. Like she was the youngest one on the
Her and
show.
Blanche were the youngest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like she was.
Blanche was a dirty old whore,
Yeah,
man.
you would
had to
never-
hand it to her.
And you
would
know,
have
it's
never
funny.
noticed
Betty
that, yeah.
White was actually supposed to play Blanche's part.
What?
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Blanche was supposed to play Rose.
Blanche must have had
Her-
Jesus
her-
in her pussy because she was banging dudes like 30 years younger than her
Yeah.
and shit, man. She was bringing around fucking, beefcake motherfuckers,
Teen son, yeah. I dealt with Bruce Wayne's whining for decades. Kiss my ass, Alfred.
Robin in the Frank Miller graphic novels as a chick was awesome.
Yeah, that was actually cool. That was a cool
yeah.
twist.
I've not seen that. Or, yeah, I probably own it, though. But
Blanche looked like a skull.
That's true. Blanche did look like a skull.
I'm not sure how to react to that, but
It's true.
see, it seems legit.
Yeah, I guess we could
The
we can go with that.
the Robin they're referring to, that book they actually made into a animated DVD recently. It's awesome. If you don't have it,
What
Oh,
The
really?
Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, cool.
That's when Bruce Wayne's older. He's retired. He's like 60.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah, that was a really good one.
It's cool because in the movie, if you really want to nerd out, Peter Weller, RoboCop, is
Oh my God.
is the voice of Batman.
Oh,
Wow.
he's
It's like
fucking awesome.
super violent,
Yeah.
super
Good.
bloody.
Can we at
And,
least
it's
agree
awesome.
that Mark Hamill is the best Joker?
Totally, absolutely.
We're all-
Fucking good!
What? Mark Hamill is a Joker?
Best
all the
Joker
Yeah,
He's
the
been
best.
ever.
Don't you
I'm a
remember
big
He
Heath
is
Ledger fan when it comes to
almost
Joker.
Come
animated
on.
series?
Come on.
You
I'm
remember, you remember the
Were
cartoon
you a fan
show
of
that used to
the
be
video
on?
games, like the Arkham series?
It's all him.
They're so good.
It's all
Like,
him.
you remember
Like, I love learning and talking about it, but I'm very
behind you,
uneducated.
right
The
behind
Batman
you.
is
That
the
guy
best Joker.
came here, the voice and the laugh that he was doing.
Oh, this guy.
He
Yeah.
was mimicking Mark Hamill. That's
Yeah,
the voice
that
that he
was
was
the voice.
mimicking.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
He was mimicking Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
That's the guy who is basically like...
He fucking nailed
He
it.
might as well have
Dude,
copyrighted
we
what
just
they,
brought that
what
shit
the norm
full
for the
circle.
Joker's
Star
voice.
Wars and Batman.
Wow.
Boom.
Wow.
Levels. And levels.
Look, just, hey, keep running. Keep running. Run with it.
And also, I just have to say that the Batman,
Oh,
most
somebody said Mark
underrated
Hamill's an
Batman
ass.
show.
What is it?
You're.
The Batman, that show, The Batman,
Okay.
that
Yeah.
was the most underrated Batman show ever.
Was it like live action or was it like?
No, it's animated.
The animated series.
Best
right?
Joker ever. No, not the animated
It was after
series.
that.
It's called The Batman.
Oh, okay.
All
okay.
I mean,
right.
it kind of lost it in the third season, but still, best. Especially the Joker in that one. So good. Sorry, guys.
No,
Sorry, I just killed the room. Everyone's
no,
like,
you didn't kill the room. I'm enthralled.
I'm with you. I have the whole box set of this friggin' animated series.
I
I look forward to that every day after school. Was that and Animaniacs?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, that's right.
You're making me think of the Animatrix.
No,
That stuff, because the Animatrix was like the animated. Of course, I love the Animaniacs. I understand.
Okay, but do you guys
Babs Bunny was hot.
But the Animatrix, I didn't talk about. That was like the whole animated
was
movie
weird.
thing that bridged.
little.
It bridged it bridged from
Was that the
first
Animaniacs?
movie.
Babs Bunny?
No, that's the Little Looney Tunes. What were they?
That was
Tiny Toons.
Tiny Toons.
Bam! All right, sorry about that.
Animatrix bridged the first movie to the video game, and then the video game bridged
that
the
video game
Animatrix from
was
the first
fucking
movie to
terrible.
the second movie. Yeah. And that video game sucked balls.
Yeah.
And I tried to download it on PC, and it always crashed. Sucked.
Thanks, Matrix.
Yeah, way to go, Matrix.
You can see the
Not-
code. Maybe you could
Love
have
the
downloaded
movies,
that.
hate the game.
Not so Matrixy now, are you?
I've never played Matrix games.
Weak ass
I have
motherfucker.
no
We
desire.
did have that online
I never played that
game for a
wacky
long
ass
time,
Hawaiian.
yeah. I never got
That's
to try that.
Fucking Keanu Reeves. I want to play as Keanu Reeves.
No, but there was one part of that game where you could actually hack, and it was all actual. Like,
Yeah.
that was the only good part. It was
Yeah, that
like
was
actual
cool.
like Unix in like
Yeah.
command line shit.
Yeah, you had to hack
That's
into the
surprising.
Did you say Unix?
Unix.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. That's a sexless being, isn't it?
Yes.
Not the
You don't say
Unix he
Unix,
meant.
Yeah.
I was just throwing it out there.
Never mind.
Is old Shrimp Fingers coming tonight?
Shrimp Fingers should be here.
And what
What
about
about
Stones?
the
and what's
the one-eyed brown?
yeah, what about
Mrs. Tons?
fucking Blindy?
Mrs. Ton should be here too.
Dude, is it okay to
I
talk
swear to God,
about?
who else has a show where half of the people are late every time?
I'll tell you why they're late though. They're late because if everybody could have it their way, they would do this show all the fucking time and get paid to, like, this would be our life. Like, we would just make shit all the time. Unfortunately, these poor bastards have responsibilities and have to do 9 to 5s, which turn into 9 to 10s and 9 to 11s
What happens
all the
when you
fucking
have
time.
fucking kids? Jesus Christ!
Well, first off, I didn't make that error. And,
I know, right?
you know, but a lot of them.
We know you did.
Settle down there. Let's not start throwing
No, your son is not an error, but my son would be. My son would easily be an error.
Probably.
He would be a paranoid little shit, thinking the government's watching him and all kinds of shit.
No, that's-
Because I'd have fun putting that in his head.
Yeah, that's what's crazy though. He probably would turn out to be like a hardcore Republican and just be like, Dad, you are completely
Yeah.
okay.
I
Fucking
love
dumb
George
bastard.
Bush.
I love George
asshole.
Bush.
And he'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about, Dad. All right, we got to keep the family values sacred.
He gets a fucking, hey, let's see here.
What do we got?
Ringy dingy.
Ringy dingy.
Ring a ding, let's see.
Struggles with
Shrimp
cat.
Fingers
Yes.
will not be here tonight, but he sends his love as he is still at work.
Fucking shrimp finger.
Well, that's just bullshit.
Stan, I think Mrs. Tons will be here though.
I guess he has
Mrs.
a date
Khan
with like
just
a
creeps
bathtub
the
full of
fuck in.
cocktail sauce.
Oh, it sounds delicious right
Does
now.
sound delicious.
That's gross.
Makes me wish.
Ketchup and horseradish, baby.
That's all it is,
That's
man.
all it is.
And it fucking cooks the whole tongue.
Did you know that horseradish is one of the most healthy things you can possibly eat?
Does it stink in here? It smell. I think it smells, man.
There are
I tried to kill the stink.
there are a lot of cats.
Well, I'm aware of that. And if that's the case, I need to fix this because it's making me unhappy.
Oh, does that mean we finally get to euthanize the cats?
No, we're not going to euthanize the cats. They're nice.
They are.
Sometimes.
They're okay.
They're all right.
They're good shit. They
Whatever.
don't bust their chops.
Look at them. All they do is sleep.
They do sleep a lot.
They don't give a fuck.
But they don't come up here when we're here. And that's what's
Absolutely
amazing.
not.
They're all around here the whole time before we start, and then once we start, they're all just gone.
They back away. Yeah, they go
You know what's
disappear.
really funny? If you're ever here and it's just like you and Rick here,
Yeah.
and Rick is out of the room, and you will not notice when it happens, but they will barricade. They will separate you from Rick, and next thing you know, you're just sitting there, and there's a wall of kitties, and they look like they've been sitting there forever, and they're just looking right at you
Yeah.
in perfect order, from like shortest to tallest. smallest. Like,
They know who does the feeding around here.
you just kind of fucking, and it's just the worst. Sometimes you're just sitting there, and you've had a few too many, and you just look up, and it's like cat army in front of you, and they're fucking all poised to attack, and you're just like, where am I? What just happened?
So
You're
what
in
the
the
fuck's
Twilight
been
Zone.
happening in the news lately?
Wait, I was gonna tell a story about my cat, so it was really good.
Was it?
Kitty
Yeah.
story.
When I was 28, I had the chicken pox, and it was the biggest nightmare of my whole entire fucking. It was horrifying. Horrifying.
That's super dangerous.
It's
Have
very
you ever-
dangerous.
Have you
Like,
ever had chicken pox?
no, never. And that was my first time.
That's called shingles.
No, not when you have 200 of them on your face
Yeah,
and they're all
no,
over your
adult
fucking head.
chickenpox
No,
is shingles.
shingles are on the inside. Chickenpox are on the outside. It
That
wasn't
sounded
shingles.
like part of a poem.
No, the reason why you say but there's a reason why you say that though. The reason why you say that adults get shingles is because normally you get chickenpox as a child, and even when my neighbors
when
had them,
adults
I
have
played with my neighbors who had chickenpox, and I didn't get it, but I got
You
it
did.
at
You
28.
just got it 20 years later.
No, yeah, right, exactly. But no, I got sick. I got sick from my job. That's what happened. But when I was lying in bed and my fever was completely out of control and I'm like hallucinating and like my
Your cat
nails are
started
scraping on the
talking to
walls. Well, my one cat stayed right next to me the whole time. The other one was a foot away. The other one was another foot away, and two of them were sitting outside the door. And they were like that for like 2 weeks.
Listen, dude, we want to check on you, but we really don't like each other that much, so we're gonna
No, they had like a chain of
shifts.
command. Like they had like it was, and it never changed unless they had to go to the bathroom or eat. And that was it.
keep the food giver alive, but if not, I got first dibs on
Look,
the body.
listen. If one of them attacks you,
No, they were waiting for you to die. So
Yeah.
they could eat me. Right? They were like, "Look, this motherfucker might go at any minute.
I got dibs on his leg.
Yeah. If he dies,
I'm just sleeping, like little tiny chew marks on your face.
I don't know. What are you doing?
Nose.
Kitty kiss.
I feel like there's so many things we.
Okay, I got something. Do you want to bring up something?
No.
Because I think you're aiming at something.
I'm not aiming.
I got an interesting thing,
Well,
Okay.
and I want to talk about. I just. Okay.
just don't let it be Justin Bieber again, because that shit
It's
is
not, but I want to
fucking-
talk about Justin Bieber
No, we-
because I'm coming to Justin Bieber's defense.
No, no.
I'm coming to his defense.
No.
God Christ.
I am on Team Bieber now.
Oh
Do you want to know why?
No, we want to hear the other thing.
Mike Depko wants to know
No,
why.
he's being nice. Mike's being nice,
no.
okay?
You don't have to be nice and
I'm
polite here.
interested as to know why you'd want to be on Team Bieber.
This is why. Okay, I have a couple of
Man.
issues here. Let me make some connections.
No.
No.
In 2007,
Just state your case and get on with it.
in 2007, Britney Spears went ape shit. She shaved her head and all kinds of crazy shit. I think it was 2007. I don't remember.
Right.
But there was something that happened where the paparazzi was following her, and she had all kinds of shit going on in her life that people didn't even know about. She was getting a divorce via text message. She had a family member die that was close to her, and all kinds of crazy shit was going on in her life. And the paparazzi turned her life into a circus until she went crazy, without even
And
considering
that
the
was
fact.
when Rick made his famous video that said, "Leave Britney alone."
I was good at it. And so anyway, the paparazzi turned her life into a circus for the public, and nobody ever asked, hey, maybe this girl who's very young and who was raised in fame and doesn't understand any of this, you're gonna fucking kill her. So Jon Stewart went on The Daily Show, and it seemed as though he was gonna make fun of her too, and then he kind of made this speech, and at the end, there's a picture of her with her head shaved, looking at the camera, looking insane, and he looks at the camera and goes, can we please just leave this one alone before something bad happens?
Right.
Like, she really needs to be left alone. And it was funny because after that, they did back off. Now, Bieber, to me, look, I don't like his fucking, I don't give a fuck. It's not even that I don't like it. I don't care about the music that he makes. Like, he's a sex symbol that they sold like they do to all of them.
Right.
So, but what I don't
12-year-old
like,
girl sex symbol.
well, yeah, exactly
Like all the
though.
other ones.
And what I don't like is when people take the time to sign a petition to get this kid removed from the country because he was drinking and driving. Well, hey, most of the people I know are guilty of that at least once in their fucking lives, for starters, okay? And anybody who disses him for it is just being, a lot of them are being hypocrites. But he's also young as fuck, rich as fuck. He won in life, basically, with that shit. And you raise him, it's like LP, I was listening to LP, this hip-hop artist from New York that I listen to, made a tweet where he was just like, you raise somebody to be an asshole, and then you're shocked when they're a fucking asshole. Like, what do you think he's supposed to turn into? So a country of people that is willing to sign a petition to get this guy removed from the country without even paying attention to all the other fucking crazy shit that's going on. Really, you're gonna put your fucking focus on this kid? He's a kid, and he's rich as fuck.
Can I bump in?
And eventually, you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna chill out. One of these days, he'll chill out if he doesn't fucking kill himself.
Or I mean, to relate it to Britney, I mean, obviously she had a lot of personal things. I don't think he has a lot of personal things. I think he thinks he's the king of the world.
Maybe,
and that's fine.
No, and that's okay.
Totally cool. I do think there's way too much focus on it because he's just a dumb rich kid.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, you got arrested for drinking and driving and having drugs or whatever it was. Okay, who cares? You should pay your penalty, go to jail, whatever it is, and then go back to your career. I mean,
right.
Or like you said, it'll turn into a Britney or a Lindsay Lohan or something like that, and they totally go off the deep end, and that's kind of sad.
I feel like that's what they're doing to him.
Right.
I feel like he's very young. He was, from the time he was a young teenager, he's been told the whole world wants to suck your dick. So how is he supposed to turn out as a young adult? What's the alternative?
Well, it's just, there's got to be a little bit of accountability. Like, now we're talking about affluenza and shit like that. You know, like, oh, poor them. Like, the same rules don't apply.
Well, yeah, to an extent.
Like, no, fuck that, dude. Hey, look, they act like idiots and they do this shit. And no, you shouldn't feel like I wouldn't get that fucking break in court, I wouldn't get a fucking 5-day probation and a $500,000 fine, which if you accumulate it, if you equalize that to like, if you took his money and my money, like, that would be like taking $10 from me. You know what I mean? Like,
to me,
like you get me with $500,000, it ruins my whole fucking life, and I'm going to jail because I can't afford to pay it.
Right.
Like, they let them off, and then they poke them and prod them and try and get them to do it again. I agree with you. The media culture around here is absolutely sick and disgusting. Like, these people are fucking sick, and the way that they have to live vicariously through these celebrities, because they don't have an existence of their own and that's all they've got. And then when their celebrities don't do what they want them to, they just smear them in the media until they have the meltdown that they've been waiting for.
But I feel too like... Oh, okay. I don't want to screw it up.
Clicky.
That's it. I feel like the difference, though, I feel like someone like Britney or a Lindsay Lohan or an Amanda Bynes, something like that, there's way more going on, okay?
Right.
Somebody like Justin Bieber, he's just out of control. Like, because he's wealthy and he's famous, and the thing that I see, like, he's not gonna do as much time as someone, or he's gonna get off a little easier because he's a public figure.
Right.
At the same time, he has a responsibility. He's old enough and has enough handlers where it's like, dude, you're fucking up. You've got little kids that look up to you. You make millions of dollars off these little kids. You got to turn around. Look at Zac Efron. He gets in trouble one time. He's in movies again. No one cared that it happened. It's over.
Right.
Look at Robert Downey Jr. You know what I mean? Like, this is like flamboyant.
He got in trouble repeatedly and still seemed to bounce back constantly.
But I mean,
But he was
had
remorseful.
addiction issues.
But we're still in the
But I feel
early
like Justin
stages
Bieber
of
is
this.
just flamboyant about it, and he acts like he doesn't care.
No, yeah, he
That's
gets
the problem.
he gets in trouble for doing one thing, and then the next thing you know, there are pictures of him pissing in a fucking mop bucket at McDonald's in New York, and then there's pictures of him and then he's speeding in his fucking Ferrari down a fucking crowded street.
It was a Lamborghini. But let me ask you something. I said it was a Lamborghini.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
But let me ask you something. But what is that? But he's not wrong. He can get away with it. You know what I mean? Like,
right,
he is above the law.
That doesn't make him not an asshole.
Right.
That's true.
I'm sure he's a dickhead kid because he's got tons of money. He can do whatever he wants. But he's not young enough to where he's exempt. He's old. He's an adult now. Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I agree
he's an
with
adult.
you. I agree with you.
And his parents part of like his team. Like, give me a break.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right.
He should own up to everything he's done, and he should get. If something bad happens like that to you, and you're an extreme public figure, you don't keep doing it if you want to keep that status. Like, that's the problem to me.
Maybe he doesn't give a fuck because that girl that he got caught with. When he was drunk driving, said that she never met anybody so goddamn depressed and isolated in her entire life.
Whatever.
And I wonder if there's anything. I mean, she doesn't get discredited because she's, with him or a model or anything.
If that's what it is,
it might be true.
Then quit. he
Yeah.
could
Then walk
never
away, yeah.
he
Yeah.
could
Exactly.
stay in
Your
his
money,
house
you're
for the rest of
already
his
set
life.
for life.
Yeah.
You're already
What
set
if?
true.
But what if he's
Walk
never?
away.
What if he's never gotten the opportunity for that moment of enlightenment to realize that?
Well, you know what? dude,
It's
at some
easy
point-
for those of
And
us
the
who
other
are.
question is, can you just leave the life and have cameras stop following you everywhere? Just 'cause
Not
you
right
say
away,
that?
Right.
but at the same time,
Yeah.
I think, like you mentioned, like he needs to have accountability and understand he has a responsibility.
And
Right.
like you said, hey, you're a
But Charles
grown-ass
Barkley did say,
man.
"I'm not a role model. I'm not here to be a role model."
Doesn't matter.
But Charles
You are.
Barkley didn't
Doesn't
break
matter
any
what
fucking
Charles
laws.
Barkley fucking says.
Charles Barkley
Barkley
just
said a lot of
Charles
things.
Barkley
Yeah.
just said a lot of things.
It's also awesome.
Yeah, and he's awesome. And Charles Barkley just said, "Hey, look, I play rough basketball, and I'm gonna get fucking fouled during a game. Don't fucking.
I
I'm not your role
don't. I
model."
mean, I don't have my
He-
mind
he-
made up.
he
I'm
didn't-
just throwing this shit out
he
there
didn't
because
say
I'm.
that. He didn't say
I'm
that. and then
worried.
go
I'm
drunk
wondering.
driving.
I
You know what
honestly
mean?
believe
Like-
that the bigger problem is simply that we've become a celebrity obsessed culture to the
Yeah,
point that
I
I
think that's
have
more the issue.
heard
Yeah.
more about Miley Cyrus and fucking Justin Bieber in the past 2 weeks than I have about Venezuela or
Yeah.
Ukraine.
Right.
And
And if
that
anybody else
actually makes
calls-
me so fucking depressed that I want to kill
There's something I
everything.
want Daryl Hell to do a commentary on, which is this trend in the media where they keep calling Miley Cyrus punk rock, like she's punk rock. And there's such a difference between
I know what you're talking
real intelligent rebellion versus manufactured rebellion, which is what she now. At the same time, she's kind of smart to say, well, they're gonna make me look like a maniac no matter what the fuck I do, so I'll just do
she's
anything
like
now.
the flip
But
side of a Justin Bieber. She's doing all the same shit. I don't give a fuck attitude, but she's
Right.
not like
She's not
not being negative
she's
about
not
it.
causing
You know what I mean?
problems for
she's not
herself.
getting caught doing anything.
good for
No,
her.
that's-
You know what I mean? That's the
Hey,
thing. Like,
no,
like
doing it
but,
right.
but what does
That's
that say
living.
about her?
No, that's living.
She's smart. I think she's
That's-
smart as fuck.
That's life. That's just living. That just means.
I mean,
this
I think her
person
music
knows
sucks,
they're
but
they're gonna
it's not
talk,
music.
They're gonna talk shit about her either way. She might as well be on the front
Right,
side.
But that's what I'm saying.
You know
She
what I
sort
mean?
of jumped ahead of the curve and went,
And said,
"Look,
"Fuck
the
it."
media
Yeah.
the media gets off and they get paid from building up stars, and just when they hit that plateau, now they've made it into a science to tear them back down, and they make money on the way up and the way down, and they do that to people now." She just kind of walked out and said, "Okay, I'm going to be a train wreck from the get go." But she's not fucking stupid. Like, she knew that's what the fuck they were going to do to her.
Well, you know,
So-
it's because they're all part of that fucking Disney.
Yes,
that,
team.
That promise ring Disney generation. That whole fucking,
Yeah.
you know, oh, we're pure innocent children, and you know, regardless
And
of anything, but we're gonna sell our fucking sex appeal to a bunch of pre-tweeny fucking Disney kids, and one day we're gonna grow up and actually be having sex and doing all this shit. And Justin Bieber got caught in it because he capitalized on it to the last fucking
Yeah,
second.
but I still,
You know what
I don't know. You still take this group of people you're talking about, and they could still do all that and do it better. Like, again, I feel like Miley and Cyrus and Justin Bieber are very much alike because they're
Yeah.
very young. They kind of have the same thing going on, this pop thing. She's being just as much as an asshole,
But she
and
seems calculated,
and
though.
people almost like love it.
She's
But
calculated.
also too, then you get Justin Bieber, who's
I think they love
being an
to
asshole.
hate it is
But-
more what
but-
it is.
the
Now
master
look at-
hate.
But look at like a guy like Justin Timberlake. He's came
Smart.
from the same
He's always been smart.
from the
Yeah.
same thing,
Yeah.
Disney kid. He was in a boy band when he was young. He never fucking killed
Which he
anyone.
regrets.
Whatever.
He's
But look at him
insanely
now. He's like
intelligent.
exactly.
And he's also
ridiculously funny.
What I'm saying is, I
Hey, not
feel
for
like
nothing, dude. He's actually talented.
Yeah,
Dude.
he's
That guy
super
can sing
talented.
his fucking ass off,
Yeah.
and he can write his own music and shit.
Like
that.
Bruno
Either way,
Mars.
what I'm getting at is, I feel like even at that young age, certain people understand their responsibility to it,
Yeah.
and they respect
Right.
their career.
Yeah.
But is
That's a very good point, by
Is
the
it
way.
for us to judge who their
thanks.
influences are in their personal life?
Right.
I mean, because you mentioned handlers earlier, right? So maybe Justin Timberlake's handlers were just a little bit smarter and a little bit more on their game than Justin Bieber's handlers. So maybe Justin Bieber needs to start.
Or how does Justin Bieber treat his handlers? Because at the end of the day, he's the
Good question.
boss.
He is the boss.
If they tell
and
him,
he's
hey, man,
been the
don't
boss
do
since
that,
he was like
he's
15 years
fuck
old.
you, I'm going to do this. What do you?
Right.
I'm paying you, so
And
leave me alone.
maybe, and you know what? Maybe dudes like Justin Timberlake's handlers, maybe their job was really easy. Maybe he was just smart and didn't need that type of handling.
Yeah.
Maybe some of these kids just go on to good adult careers because they're just level-headed and they don't get caught up in the shit and they understand not everybody's going to say nice things, not everybody's going to say negative things. I'm just going to do my thing and I'm going to try and stay out of trouble. Whereas Justin Bieber bought in completely and actually believes that he is like God's gift to the world and has so much so that he calls his fans believers. You know what I mean? Like, that guy's an ego fucking maniac. He has never thought about anybody but himself. And it continues to be that way, whether it's an upward
Yeah, but I
trend
mean, he
or
was
an
getting his
downward trend.
Jesus fuck. He's getting his dick sucked, as young as
Okay,
fucking 14
all right,
years
whatever.
old,
Just
being
because
fucking
you
pranced
get
around on
just
TV.
because you
I
got
can't
lucky
imagine.
doesn't mean you
First
don't have
off,
to be a person,
First off, it's hard for me to fully remember what it was actually like to be 14 or 15 years old. Like, I have memories from that age, but to be that...
Yeah, now add everything you've ever wanted in your life on top of that. And,
Well,
being
you know,
14
And everything
years old.
you've ever learned or experienced
And try to
since
keep
then.
a level
And then
head.
try to subtract that from your life again. And be that way. Now be that way and have adults around you everywhere going, everybody on earth wants to fuck you
Hey,
right
listen,
now.
man, this
So
even-
just go out there and just be
This
yourself.
only
Just
goes-
be you.
This
And
only
like,
goes one of two directions.
he's only, what, 21? I mean,
No, but it
he
doesn't
hasn't
matter.
he was just a teenager 2 years ago.
I just don't understand the obsession.
That's the problem.
Like, what is our problem? Like, I don't
Right.
know if
Because
I
it's so
assume that
easy.
in other
It's easy to
countries, in a lot of
understand.
other countries, it probably exists. I mean, I know it exists, like in England for the royal family. Like, celebrities here are like our version of that in a way. It's insane to me that it's like, okay, they're an actor or they're a musician or whatever, or maybe you're interested in their life, but I don't understand when that crosses over into almost an obsession, and it's like a countrywide obsession, and it's a sickness. And the reason it's a sickness is because it seems like it's overwhelming people's televisions and quote-unquote news and just their fucking mind space so much that nobody's paying attention to things that are important. Did you ever notice how whenever something happens on the news that's completely unimportant but just takes over everything, something really sneaky fucking happens from the government that night,
Right,
or
that's
like,
true.
or something really fucked up happens in some other part of the world that you never hear about because our Time fucking magazine cover had a fucking,
Bump me in.
Beyonce on it instead of like an explosion that happened that we should all really know about. Like,
And it's funny you say that because actually when Bieber was like that, there was one day where you just could not get away from it. And I posted on Facebook, so Bieber's in the news a lot today. What is the government doing that's fucked up behind our backs that we have not heard about yet? And that does seem to be the case. And the government did pass legislation that gave us even less power over the internet again while all of that was going on.
yeah,
and
they do
you're
that.
right, they
I
do
think
that.
it in like the middle of the fucking night.
But
snuck into,
my
like a bunch of other Bale. It's the same shit all
but
the time.
my best example of that was I was really, really interested in the whole Occupy Wall Street movement because it was the first time I've ever seen people in my lifetime take to the streets at that level. And on my computer, through Ustream and YouTube and Twitter, I was getting a lot of reality from New York, like what was going on. Especially, I was mostly interested in New York, even though it was going on all over the country and all over the world, because it's right in our backyard. And I have my laptop set up, and I'm watching a Ustream feed, and I have my television on, and I'm watching I'm flipping between Fox and MSNBC and CNN, and all three of those stations at once are reporting on Kim Kardashian's divorce, and on my computer screen, I'm watching cops beat the fuck out of people in Times Square. Like, there's like 10,000 fucking people there, and it's like a fucking war zone. And it's like, it occurred to me that like when there's a sort of there's a revolution happening in like Egypt, it's on 24 hours a day. But when you've got even the tools that would make maybe a spark happen here, they kill that shit on fucking TV. And that's why they want to take over the internet.
Just like,
but again,
I was
but
telling
you're
you the
right.
same
There's a
thing with-
distraction when it comes to pop culture.
When
Keep going.
George Bush
Sarah.
was in New York for the trade conference, and there were like thousands and thousands of people protesting him being there in the streets of New York. Like just a sea of people. Not one news agency showed any footage of that protest, and I could not believe it. It was so many people. I'm like,
I can believe it.
it doesn't. I don't understand how it's possible that nobody is covering this. There's too many people for this to not be on TV.
Because they don't want to. I mean, it's just it doesn't go to their demographic and what they're trying to appeal to. It's completely against their main motivation as an entity. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what makes them money. Revolution. You know, the opiate of the masses is what makes them money. You know what I mean? Like that comfortable voice and having a cell net, a cell group of people that will always turn them on is what they're interested in, and they don't really, I mean, it's completely believable. I mean, that's actually the model, for a media. That's the model. You find your demographic, you assault it. You assault its senses, and you squeeze every dollar you can out of it, and you make sure that they don't go to another fucking supplier.
It seems like the danger now is
to you appeal to whatever it is that you think that they like, and you appeal to it 24 hours a day, fast and fucking furious. Because if they turn the channel, you've lost them.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the model. If they turn the
and
channel,
create it in such a way that when they show 20 minutes of something that's actually happening, you're like, oh, cool, they did it. Like, they're actually covering it.
Yeah.
And then go back to, like, whatever else,
Yeah. And they don't want you to do that. They want you to stay there. They
set
want
the bar
you to stay
low.
there and keep going and stay with them and stay locked on. You know what I mean? That's what they do. And if they show you that, then you might start flipping to other channels. If they show you shit that, that goes against everything they tell you all the time, you might start looking at other fucking sources,
Uh-oh, somebody knocks upon the awesome talk door.
The danger now, though, is that the instant gratification generation is turning into the I can't pay attention to anything really important that actually affects my life generation.
That is very
If
true.
anyone that is putting as much energy into paying attention to what the fuck Justin Bieber's doing, into paying attention to, I don't know.
I don't know.
The chemicals that's being put into their food, or like what the fuck's happening behind their backs, that like all the people in charge of what are you reading?
Oh, nothing. I'm just saying I don't know if we're allowed to draw that parallel anymore because we just spent 45 minutes.
Well, that's
Good
why I
point.
said
Good
what
point.
the fuck. Like, what are
I
we
don't
talking
think we're
about
allowed
here?
to
It's
sit on that high
ridiculous.
horse any longer.
No, dude, I said from the beginning, no talking about Justin fucking Bieber anymore.
I agree.
But Rick has to come
Now I'm
in
not
with
allowed to be
his
snobby and pretentious.
fucking... We can be snobby and pretentious to Rick since he started this shit.
Yeah, it's your
Well, I'm actually
fault.
glad that Stones is walking in soon because I got a bone to pick with that motherfucker.
You got a bone to pick with the stone.
I got a bone to pick with Stones when he walks to the fucking door.
Well.
A bone must be picked with you.
Stones, once again, trying to be a good guy.
Mrs. Stones. I mean, Mrs. Tons.
Whatever the fuck your name is. The reason they can black out all of that shit is because like 6 companies own 90% of the media.
Yep, right, that's true.
Yeah.
I think it's probably less than 6 companies. at
Oh,
this
way
point.
less. Probably
Yeah.
more like 3.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
Because all of
accurate,
those
actually.
external companies are actually subsidiaries of the
Yeah.
original
Yeah.
2 or 3, I mean,
Yeah, that's right.
like Fox doesn't just only own Fox.
Well, I read like in
a lot of
1985
other-
there were like 90 companies that owned the media, and now it's down to 6.
No, but
I don't know if that's right.
But a lot of those companies still exist. Like, you would think of ESPN as ESPN, but ESPN is Fox. You know what I mean? Like, you would think
Yeah.
of a lot of channels as a lot of channels, but they're subsidiaries of either Fox or ABC or NBC.
Right.
And that's basically, it comes down to like the core 3. You know what I mean? And they're all, like, everything else is a subsidiary of those 3 organizations. So
Right.
they basically own anything anyway.
Who owns Carolco? That's
I don't know. Skynet, I believe.
You're right.
Hopefully.
Property of Skynet.
God, guys.
What?
I don't know.
So anyway,
good.
All this shit.
So am I gonna jump into it?
Oh,
we
your
jumping-
your
we're
your
jumping
Stones
into something?
bone?
Oh, my Stones bone.
Pick it,
Oh,
pick
In fact,
Stones
Usith
bone.
says he has a boner for Stones.
He has a bone for the stoner.
I call it a stoneser. It's a stoneser.
Yeah.
A stoneser is what he has when he's stonesing.
Let it happen.
And when somebody's getting stones.
Let it happen.
Oh, I'm gonna let it happen.
Well, come on now.
Okay, so in recent news, Now, first off, I'd like to preface by saying,
Oh, god damn it.
There's a preface.
There's always...
There's a little setup for this.
always.
Help us at the
I am all good. Look, I am all for police officers that are for the people. I get that shit, okay? The police officer who recently bought groceries for that woman who was trying to feed her kids, who didn't have a job, that officer did that, gave her so much hope. She got a job and she's getting her shit together. That's a good story, okay? When my father died and I was going to Brooklyn to go see him, there was a New Jersey state trooper who pulled over because I didn't want to get upset in front of my sister, and he basically like went far away with me and he just let me talk. And he like just had a great conversation with me. That was a good guy. That was a good cop, and he was just there to be there. You know, he probably had a better shit to do, but he did it. Now recently, in Bloomfield, there was a guy.
I heard about this.
Yeah, a guy who was looking at 5 years in jail for resisting arrest and eluding police, and a dashboard cam came out that showed that the police actually just beat the fuck out of him while his hands were up like this the entire time.
While
and he was
screaming, stop resisting, stop resisting.
And he kept screaming, I'm not resisting, I'm not fucking resisting, I'm not resisting. His hands were in the air the entire time. So, you know, after the whole George Zimmerman thing, you look at something like that and you just go, what is the authority problem in this country? Should I mention what the bone is with you to pick?
I don't think that it's a problem for them.
The bone for you to pick is you wrote something on Facebook that drove me crazy. No way to explain it. You said, oh, by the way, Stones, this is Mike Depko. Mike Depko, this is Stones. You wrote something on Facebook that drove me crazy. Because I thought it was half right.
Only half right.
Half right. You said it's unfortunate when one police officer misinterprets what another police officer is doing, and then you were like, it's sad for all parties. No.
Sad for all parties.
No, it was sad for one party.
There's a missing.
You're sad for the guy who got fucking shot.
He got his ass kicked for no reason.
It's sad for him. It's sad for any cops that got in the middle of it and just, got in the middle of that whole situation, not really knowing what was going on, and just, their interpretation of witnesses in court, like how accurate are witness accounts of anything that happens in the world? It's all bullshit.
I just want to say
that standard doesn't.
I want to pause 1 second.
Across the board to all police officers. They don't know what the fuck they're saying half the time. They're just like, oh shit, something's fucked up's going on.
Right.
And I gotta get in the middle of this.
It's a mob mentality.
Right. That's what I wrote. That's exactly what I wrote. That's exactly what I wrote. It sucks that it becomes a mob mentality, but that's the reality. That's why it's sad for all.
Here's my problem. Here's my problem. This is why I prefaced it the way I did, okay? If you're a police officer and you're carrying $1,000 worth of fucking weaponry on you, you should be fit to handle it. Well, you don't just react like everybody else. Shouldn't you be exceptional?
Because the second police officer that drove up, who went across the median
and smashed into his car and it went unreported.
Not only did he drive up to help the other officer, he drove full speed into the front of the other guy's car and crashed into it and ran out. And I'm like, that seemed like an overreaction. Why couldn't you just stop the car? Why did he have to crash into it? Like, it all seemed very insane.
It did seem insane. But that's not as insane as what happened in Texas in my
Hold on, don't skip over that. You said who knew what was going on in his head.
Right, who knew what was going on in that cop's head when he smashed into the front of that car? All he was thinking
the car was stopped.
No, I understand that, but he's seeing the other cop.
I'm saying it sounds like you're defending him when you say that. Like you're giving me some benefit of the doubt.
It's a very slim hope on his behalf that he's a decent human being.
Well,
just in case the cops watching, we don't have that same hope.
Yeah.
But I also said
partly blind, so he probably didn't see with the video the same way we
did. And I live the next town over. This is like, keep it on the town.
You need two eyes. This is one of those rare times that Big Brother works for the advantage for other people, which needs to be noted, because how many times does shit like this have gone down?
Yeah, it's rare. It's rare.
When it's
rare that Big Brother works.
But how many other times has this happened ever that completely went unreported because of the fact that there wasn't any of this other stuff? There wasn't any surveillance stuff going on. So that's actually one of the rare goodnesses of surveillance. Anyway, woman in Texas gets, she's jogging along.
Yep, here we go.
All right, and
shit.
No, this is
beating death police officer.
Well, no, the cops.
Terminator.
The cops. Somebody was hit by a bus, so they were cracking down on jaywalking.
Was her name Sarah Connor?
So the cops grabbed her arm and they asked her for ID, and she was like, "Get away from me!" And then they they arrested her.
The jogger.
And then they arrested her.
Oh.
And then she was like screaming into the cop car. And then like I'm watching this whole feed of people like bicker back and forth. Like people are like, "Oh, what a liberal bitch," and then other people are like, "Oh, you know, she should have just shown her ID." And then other people are like, "Fuck the cops, they're a bunch of assholes." And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, what the fuck? What's the law? What's the law here? All right.
Okay.
And the law in Texas, and this is something that we should all know with all of our states, and I unfortunately don't know this about New Jersey, but what's the law with having to show your ID? And the law in Texas is, unless it's a traffic violation or you're under arrest, if a police officer requests your ID, you don't have to give it to him.
Yeah. I think that's a federal law. Isn't that
That's
coast to coast?
That's just a state.
that I've been actually checking out on YouTube as well. If you ever watch any, just look up like people videotaping like a DUI checkpoint.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
those
It's
are
amazing
fucked up.
because no one knows the law, and if you know the law, you don't. If you get stopped by at a DUI checkpoint or even at a traffic stop, if you're not being detained for a crime, you don't have to produce ID, even at a border checkpoint.
Right.
You don't have to.
That's right.
And most people just do because the cop asks them to. And typically, all right, you show them the ID, you're all good, you go, whatever. But you have the right to prove your point. Well, I don't need to show you my ID. And you don't even have to roll your window all the way down.
Right.
It's
That's
amazing,
right.
like, what you don't have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, and also, too, like, you're jogging. Who's bringing their fucking wallet with them when they're jogging?
Right.
You know what I mean? Do you even
Yeah.
bring your wallet when
And
you go
well, I
into a
mean,
gym?
like, how does it? And it, like, I mean, they had fucking what was it? They had one officer on site, and then another officer joined him,
And then two
and
more.
this is over a jogger,
4.
a female. And like, I saw the pictures of her. Like, she's
She weighs about 90 pounds.
Yeah.
90-pound, like,
And she's easily got no weapons.
the whole thing has to be a college
right?
girl wearing
Yeah, jaywalking.
spandex. So I mean,
Yeah, that's
it's pretty
great.
hard to conceal a fucking gun unless she's been like doing a lot of DVDA or something
Yeah.
like that. You know, it's pretty hard to conceal a weapon in spandex. So it's fairly obvious.
So I'm told.
It's fairly obvious that she was unarmed. You know what I mean? And like these fucking
You got that
dudes,
kangaroo
like they're
compartment.
dragging her off. They're dragging her off, and then they have to go and call fucking 2 more cops for
Yeah, right.
backup. And this guy's sitting there in the coffee shop, like video recording the whole thing, just watching. And like she's going, "I'm doing nothing wrong," and she looked at the guy, and he just looked at her, and he's just like, "I know you didn't do anything. I got the whole thing," and it's just. It's unbelievable, dude.
I
It
feel
really-
like almost every day now I'm reading a story about police officers either shooting someone
Yeah.
for no reason. The 80-year-old man that got
The
shot.
kid with the weed controller who got shot.
And did you hear about the 80-year-old guy that got shot in his bed?
In his bed.
This was insane. Police broke down the house because the house had a chemical smell, so they said there was a meth lab in it.
Oh.
They went down the hallway with their guns, broke down his bedroom door, and shot the guy who actually had a gun, had a permit to have the gun. And the police officer said that the guy drew his gun on them, and they shot him after telling him to drop his gun, and he didn't. But
Right.
the evidence of the blood splatter showed that they actually shot him while he was still in bed,
Right.
and the dude's gun hadn't been picked up off of his. It hadn't even been picked up.
I'm a huge advocate of the
What?
lapel cams
And then
because
wait,
of
and
stuff
then
like
they
this,
found.
you know?
Then there
And it
was
should
an
all be public
audio
record.
recording
Should all
of
be
it.
public
And
record.
what actually happened was the police shot the guy in his bed, and then after they shot him, they said, "Drop your weapon."
Oh.
How is this happening? I read almost every other fucking day
Look,
about
I hate
this
to say
happening,
this,
and it's
and I
just-
hate this because I don't want to be that guy. But there's a lot of Gestapo tactics going on lately, because there's a militarization of local
well, you
police
know what?
enforcement too.
The-
I'm not one of those Obama Nazi motherfuckers. I'm not. But this is you're right. This is every day in the news lately. There's a severe abuse of power, and there's no humanity or community. That's my problem with it. Is that there's no community left. Did she break the law by jaywalking? Yeah.
How much
Are
is
you a
that?
person? Is she a person who lives in your neighborhood? Are there no cars
Yeah,
coming?
and-
Was she an
and they
adult
didn't-
that looked both ways and said there's no cars coming?
They didn't
across
arrest
the
her
street?
first before they asked her for ID. And that's like
But why are they asking her for ID?
Right, exactly.
There's no law that
Right.
says you have to carry it. This is not. Hey, show me your papers. This is
Yeah.
not fucking
Yeah.
Hey,
Germany,
you know what?
dude.
Next step, we gotta put fucking gold stars on our arm. And You know?
Right, to show her. And by the way, there's I hate when I say that, by the way, but there's I went to this lecture with this guy who is full-blood Apache Indian, and it was about what it means to be a full-blooded Native American in the United States nowadays. And he said shit that, like, you have no idea is going on. And he pulled something out of his wallet, which I believe was called a wampum card, which showed the percentage of his blood Native American. And he said, I'm telling you, he goes, this is real. And in the audience, another guy who was Blackfoot Indian, full blood, stood up and took his wallet out and pulled his out, and he said, yeah, that is some real shit. So, I don't know, just what was said reminded me of that, you know, that they watch.
Yeah, all the stuff you see, like with kids getting stopped for no reason, or a DUI checkpoint, which they create the illusion of some sort of safety thing. Like, right? I mean,
in the name of safety, in the name of security.
The whole thing is, I'm sure all of us in this room have been to one. They say, hey, we're just going to let you know about drunk driving tonight.
Thanks.
And then, hey, thanks. You know, no one knows the law. You still, this woman getting jumped, the jaywalker. You see cops shooting dogs all the time. It's like
that's killing.
That
me.
is happening a lot
but just
lately.
I'm sure we could spend all night on it, but like just so you said, like abuse of power. Someone has a gun, they just want to use it.
Yeah,
I'm not saying all cops are bad. I have a lot of family in police,
and
fire.
But that's why I preface it the way I did.
Yeah,
because I've had cops. When my dad died, dude, I pulled over at a Garden State
You
Park
just told
Center.
us that story 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, but I didn't say exactly what happened.
Okay.
I pulled over, and my sister was like just screaming, like she couldn't believe what happened. And I got out of the car, and I sort of just went off on my own to just chill. And I saw a cop car pull in. And I was my first instinct, and this is what shows you that it's bad in a shitty way, was this guy's going to tell us to fucking leave. He's not going to give a fuck why we're here. There's no concert going on here tonight. There's no reason for us to be parked here. And now I'm going to get fucked with at the worst, literally the worst moment in my entire life. And when he got out of the car, he walked up and he just went, what's going on? You know, he was just cool.
It's cool.
And he was about the same age as me. You know,
I've grown up with cops. A lot of stuff with EMS. I've been around plenty of cops, and you get to know them on a personal level, and they're just a lot of them
feel like
people.
Yeah, but I feel like
they know who the hotheads are. They know who the hotheads are.
They don't know who the hotheads are because when you pummel people who have their hands up and they're unarmed
inside the precincts, everybody knows who the hotheads are. Everybody knows who the troublemakers are, and it's just one of the elements that gets into being a cop.
But neither one of us can make a blanket statement about who people are in a certain occupation.
No,
you know what I mean? They're not all good.
Red team, we're not condemning all of them. At least my point was simply that I seem to be noticing that I'm reading a story as messed up as that almost every day lately. I don't think it's most of them. That would be.
Well, that's because there's no stories in the news when a cop is great.
It's
so rare. That's not true because the cop that bought that woman's groceries.
But what about a cop that's not buying a woman groceries and is just cool?
Dude, there's so many bad stories lately.
Like you were going 70 instead of 65.
Well, that might not be in the news, but like Rick just told that story. How many of your friends have been like, well, there was this one time this cop actually did this for me?
Yeah.
Do you hear that a lot? Because I think Rick's story may have been one of maybe 3 ever, like actual personalized, not just like, I met a cop that like
that guy was a state trooper,
but like a real.
He was a state trooper in New Jersey, and I never got his name, but I just want to tell him thank you for being there that night because that was the worst fucking moment of my entire life.
I've always gotten
directions. It wasn't even that long ago.
I've always gotten directions in New York.
Cops.
They'd frisk you if you were black, by the way.
Right? Yeah.
Bump him in.
Bump.
Somebody. There we go.
Power play.
I've met several good cops. I'm actually friends with quite a few officers. I'm friends with a couple of guys who are going for detective and undercover and stuff like that too. They've got military backgrounds. They're good dudes. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't dream for 1 minute that they would do anything like that to anybody. But like, did you guys read that story? What I find fascinating about a lot of this shit with the way that the cops are right now and the way that everything is being portrayed, like, well, not being portrayed, because I don't believe for 1 second that there's some mass media conspiracy against the police. I'm sorry. I refuse to accept that. I'm sorry. But did you read the story about the cop, the lady cop in Georgia who went to a house to serve a warrant to a guy who lived in the house for just no, it wasn't like a high risk warrant. It was just you failed to go to probation today or something. The guy lives in his house with his wife and his kids, and she knocked on the door, and somebody the guy's son went to answer the door. He was a 17-year-old in ROTC training. He was going to sign up for the Marines when he graduated high school. He goes to the door and he said, "Who is it?" And they didn't identify themselves. They just knocked again and said, "Open up."
Yeah.
And when he opened up, he was holding a Wii controller, a black Wii controller, and the cop shot him right there.
Oh, I gotta go.
On site.
My neighbor downstairs.
Just
My
shot
neighbor
him.
downstairs. He's sitting there in his bedroom. He's rolling a joint, right? All right. He's telling me the story.
Anyway,
No, wait.
Hold on. Can I just wrap up? I'm going to switch the because I have the camera on me right now. But
Yeah.
like,
And after that,
it's this
cancer.
stigma, though. It's this
Andrew
fucking.
Cannon.
It's this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's not all the cops' fault. I think the climate for being a cop, too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
That's fair.
I think it's fucking, like, look, and because they didn't, like, she didn't want to try and cover anything up. After she shot that kid, she sat down and started crying on the front steps, and the neighbors all saw her. So, I mean, if there's a cover-up in place, it's the department, but this cop saw what she did, sat there right there, and was hysterical. And but she was that scared. She was that pumped up and charged up, just about knocking on somebody's door and saying, "Hello." And when they opened the door, you know what I mean? She shot the kid for having a Wiimote. in his hand.
remote, yeah.
You know what I mean? And she sat there and instantly regretted it. And she was inconsolable. But why was that a scenario? What is going on with cops right now? Why is that a scenario that you feel like that? Serving a low-risk warrant in a neighborhood in Georgia, and you shoot a future Marine Corps inductee.
So what
Well, I
does it
think it
what does
goes
it deal with
both-
identifying themselves? Because
Alright.
I got to tell you, right now, my neighbor downstairs, he's rolling a joint in his bedroom, right? He starts hearing something slamming on his door. He's like, "What the fuck?" And he hears it, it's louder and louder. He thinks it's his sister at first fucking with him. Next thing you know, he knows now someone's trying to break into his house. Nobody's identifying shit. It's the cops. They're busting into the wrong apartment. Guy does nothing wrong in his life.
Right.
They're actually breaking into the wrong
Ryan, could you
apartment.
grab me a
They're
Guinness?
supposed to be at the neighbor's
Yes, sir.
house.
Thank you.
Right? And they bust
there
through
are
the
none.
door, and he just thinks someone's attacking
Something.
him. So he grabs the first thing he can get a hold of, which is a
Oh,
broom.
no, wait. There are some.
He throws a broom at him as they come through the door, and he goes, and that's when all the weapons were drawn on me. And he goes,
Yeah.
up, I'm
Thank
down, I'm
Thanks,
down.
sir.
He gets down, but really, how easily could it have been when he was throwing the broom at the cops that the cops could have shot him and killed him on the spot for going to the wrong apartment?
I have a big
and
announcement.
it's like you're not identifying yourselves anymore. What happened to the identifying who you are coming through the door? Where did that go? Why did
I always think about that when, you always hear, like, it seems like every, 4 or 5 years I hear a story in the news about, a crazy dude that's pretending to be a cop and pulling people over and, killing them.
Yeah, right.
And every time that happens, the news says, if you're getting pulled over in this neighborhood, wait until you're in a very public area before you pull over and ask the police officer to see his badge before you put your window down. And I'm like, dude, if you fucking got pulled over and you were like, oh, this block is dark, I'm gonna pull over on the next street and have this cop hail me the whole time.
Smash it, right?
And
They
then you
smash it in the
ask
back
for
of
his
your car.
badge when he comes to your window. That would never end well. There's
That's
no
called
way.
a police
Do
chase.
you know what the chances are?
If you have the balls to at the end of the police chase go, I'm gonna need to see your badge.
All right, wait.
You're
Okay.
probably getting shot.
It's 10:30. We have 8 minutes of content for a
I also have an
And-
announcement to make. In a little while, Rodney Rush from Breaking Bad is going to Skype in with us.
All right.
And join the
Rush.
conversation.
Rocky's coming back to the show.
Nice.
That's sweet.
So I just
Rodney
want to
Rush
let you
is
know.
fucking
All right,
awesome,
so
dude.
what are we
He's just
doing
chill
now?
as fuck. We're
Getting to
doing,
know?
Yeah, the getting to knows, and then we'll be back and talking to Mike
Hell yeah,
and
we
talking
will.
to Rodney.
So this is Rick. Do you want to set up the getting to know? Section?
It's all ready to go, dude.
No, I know. I mean, do you want to?
Oh, yeah, sure.
We showed these last week.
words.
We
These
fucked
are
them
words.
up.
Oh, you need this one more. It's like a grown
Or we
man.
can just sit here and go, oh, this is getting to know.
Dude, I'll set it up. They're just little short clips of getting to know the people. From
All right,
the show.
yo, here's a dealio. So anyway,
This is like a
Here's the
fucking
scenario.
war zone. It's like Rick, you
I
introduce
switched
no
to the Rick
Sarah
here
will
and Sarah
do it.
starts talking. I switched to the Garrison.
I know, right?
What?
So anyway, okay, so here we go.
Hotline cam.
Here we go. Here we go.
Do it.
What was? Oh yeah. So anyway, so
Dude, are you fucking shitting me? I just
Rodney
done
Rush.
that now.
all right, no, I'm not gonna talk about that. Okay, so the getting to know videos. We got some. We didn't get to know almost the whole cast in this video. It's getting to know part 2 and part 1 back to back. Yeah, back to back, basically, and you can get to know almost everybody on the show. And we're about to air that right now. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to spend a minute with each person who is on this show.
Dude, this is the longest preface ever. It's unnecessary.
And you're going to see them in their
They don't fucking
most
care.
amazing.
In all their glory.
All right, well.
Word up.
No more Bieber, we promise, you
There we
said.
Beaver's done.
I will punch him in the mouth.
Getting to know and
Getting to know your cast members of Awesome
We'll see you in 8 minutes.
hashtag.
After cocaine, you get balls put in your mouth. Andrew has no fucking soul. Alright? I'm brave as shit.
I don't know about that, but
No. I aimed for my own mouth and it shot over my fucking ear and it got in the back of my head. It's equal respect. And my balls don't get sweaty and they stick to my inner thigh.
hey,
Because Obamacare doesn't fucking load on your computer doesn't mean you can't shoot sperm in your own mouth.
We can marry a fucking cat and a fucking turtle right here.
You just saw some bullshit that we made.
Oh, we're gonna marry all kinds of shit.
That's all I do.
Work it.
oh yeah.
I'll put my feet down, flip it and reverse it.
Please stop working it.
Yo, we were tucking the derp and the perk to perk. It winds out to be a lady boy. Trust me, bro. We'll all
We'll turn around. We're gonna fuck in the ass because he was being an asshole.
They're
going family proud.
And you're bringing up a fucking Justin Bieber story? So, I'm still driving an imaginary car. Free the titties! Oh no, I'm being womanized. Durka durka burpa derp. Derpa dirty derpa hand. Listen, I'm a pretty man, pretty woman. What do you want? double mint, dwarves.
I can't be held accountable for this because I don't live in your world.
My balls are going in your mouth.
I no longer have the ability to juggle. Causing me to struggle. The tape is thick. I used to be the best juggler in the circus. I was juggles in lap. That's why I'm struggling. I've had this thing following.
Juggles.
No one can juggle as good as I can juggle. Just tormenting me. Just everything's a struggle.
I am a horrible, horrible, shitty person. Oh my fuck, dicks. Through and through, just pure hatred.
It's a natural thing.
Listen, we're not getting all new people here, so don't expect fucking miracles.
Yeah.
And when I look at your little fat baby head, it just reminds me of how shitty I am on the inside. Way to go, America. Blah, blah, blah. In this world, at some time, some dwarf somewhere died in a badger hole. The fact that we're this shitty of people and we already questioned talking to you, then we fist bumped and bro hugged and took him out like champs.
You can always count on Sarah.
I am reliable.
Sure, Jesus still loves Sarah.
Well. Here I go. And go! Is Tom Hanks an asshole? That's the question we're going to answer tonight. Hey, number one, there's... First off, okay, they're waving it around. This is ground zero right here where the shit's going down. So I think that our opinion on it matters. And I also want to have a big clinky... Outstanding. So, now, the thing is so far, now today was different than yesterday, though, of course. It's true, though. You know, tidy whities are balling up in the crotch, you know, Katy Perry fucks dogs or whatever.
If I wasn't before, I am. I mean, you will see the squirt from behind the right eyelid.
Science.
Whoever you are,
Well,
I don't care.
Look at your little penis in pieces.
Hello.
It's 40 and something degrees alcoholic, and it's not the first glass I'm drinking. I'm doing very well. If you hurt yourself, you can wear this. A gigantic butthole. So who's going to marry me?
It's pretty nice, hairy and dark.
You what?
Yo ho ho ho. Oh, nice.
I'm not understanding very much why this is going on.
Yes, I am drunk as fuck.
We don't realize it, but we're in. A lot of people don't realize it. Maybe you guys do. I don't know.
please shut your fucking mouth. Just say your fucking name.
Biomedical engineering is fucking crazy. Well, I'm awesome. Yeah, because there's not an inkjet printer that prints out organs for humanity now. Side hub, Christian side hub. How about this? You wake up the An anima is what rich white people in Los Angeles do for recreational.
So
purposes.
anyway,
We need to make some signs and march on Washington with this cause.
No! I've seen plenty of videos.
Since the last topic.
Get him out!
That's what I'm doing.
Hurry up.
What I'm trying to fucking do. What bumped you in? I fucked up. I gotta go to the next part. Just because you're intergalactic doesn't mean you're better than me, motherfucker.
Stones has returned.
I'm not.
Has he though?
He's going to pee, apparently. He doesn't even exist as a human being.
Hey guys, thanks for coming to the bar. This is my final word.
It also has the added benefit of being filled to the brim with dead folks.
Elastic church pants.
Bandages, ibuprofen, goggles, lab coats, and bullets.
And I was there.
Can best friends Alicia and Darian trust the animal spirits that are beckoning them to escape into the wilderness? Food is essential to staying alive. I cannot stress this enough.
I know what the inside of a vagina feels like.
Spend the entire year in an underground bunker. She was interrupted by her best friend Darian, who was riding his hover bike or horse, or hover horse, or whatever.
And I, wearing my finest pair of parachute pants.
Seriously, imagine it. Forever. Until you die.
Now!
Hey! Welcome back, everybody. Right now we are live On the air with Rodney Rush from Breaking Bad. I want everybody to give a round of applause, man. We're going to welcome him back. Now, Rodney, there was a subject I wanted to bring up here at the bar, and I wanted everybody to weigh in, including you.
Okay.
Recently, as of like yesterday, I think, right? Harold Ramis from Ghostbusters passed away.
Oh, shit, I know.
What in the fuck, man? I mean, what is... Comments, reactions, what do we got here, man?
I gotta be honest, when I saw it, I was like, wasn't he young?
69 years old.
That's the first thing I thought of, and I was like, oh, wait, no, he's 69. I was like, that's not so young.
Well, if you gotta go, it's preferable to go at 69.
Yeah.
True.
Rodney, go for it.
Well, shit, did you guys watch Animal House?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy how long back it started, you know? He was young then at one time.
Yeah.
And he's been doing a lot of stuff since that, you know. It's just crazy because my parents are in their mid-60s, you know, and I don't think of him as terribly old, but when I heard that he was 69, I was like, damn, I hope I at least live to be 70-ish.
Right.
My dad went at 54, and my mom just broke through 60, so I'm pretty much calling her every day.
Yeah?
That's just shitty. That's just
Mom, you still alive? All right, I love you.
By the way, Mom, I love you.
Most about him is that I heard that almost, 100% of the time he was improv.
Oh,
wow.
He was really good at it, too, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
So they even said, like, on the news, when I heard about it, it was talking about, if you've watched comedy, since you were a kid till this time, or if you watch new comedy, there's some type of a quote or something that's probably come from him.
Yeah.
Because he was one of the originators of this whole comedy thing we have now, and it's crazy. It's crazy,
I love how Bill Murray
Rest in peace, man.
Yeah, and again, that's another thing. I mean, think about how much him and Bill Murray worked together.
I was gonna say, my favorite Ramis thing was definitely Stripes.
Stripes is a fucking genius movie, man.
Unbelievable in Stripes. That was such
and that
a
just
good
sets
play.
you up for Ghostbusters.
Exactly. It bums me out that we're not going to see a Ghostbusters 3.
Hey, dude, he was down for Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe they'll do that like fucking Tupac 3D imaging on things, and they'll make him a ghost.
An Egon hologram.
There you go.
No, I want to see fucking Ghostbusters 3 with Rodney Rush as one of the fucking Ghostbusters.
Holy shit!
Sign me up. I'm there.
That'd be great.
Get his agent on the phone right now.
Son of Egon.
Yeah,
Son of Egon, indeed.
oh my god, that'd be amazing!
Because they wanted Elijah Dushku in that movie. And I could see Rodney Rush and Elijah Dushku side by side in Ghostbusters 3.
Wait, as a
As who?
Ghostbuster? Wait, who's
Yeah.
Elijah?
She was going to be a female Ghostbuster. She was going to break the mold.
Why would that's not a mold that needs breaking.
Anything that has her in it.
Well, they had a black guy. They
Let
have
me
to have a
say
woman.
that while I do agree with Rodney on that part, I don't agree it should be
On
in
that movie.
Ghostbusters.
I'm gonna put myself Rodney's new agent. I'm gonna say,
Whoa, hold on. What'd you say, Rodney?
I said I would work as a grip on that movie.
Grip indeed.
no, dude. I'm gonna appoint myself your new agent, and if you're working on a project with Eliza Dushku, there's got to be a sex scene, right?
Dude, she's bad.
She's bad.
About that alien TV show, and they showed like the commercial, and she got this tongue that comes out. I'm like, oh hell no.
Or hell yes, depending on how you look at it.
You never know.
You haven't been to Atlantic City
I
lately.
mean, oh hell no, oh yes.
And aren't those the worst ones, Rodney Rush? It's the ones you say, oh hell no, but you say hell yes at the same time.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Because they're the ones that fucking cut your genitals off and throw it out the car window for a dog to fucking chew on.
The veiled whisper.
How's Bad Buddha coming, man?
Yeah, man. Ask me, I don't think I heard you.
Oh, how's Bad Buddha coming along, man? Where you at with that whole thing?
Oh, so actually I'm going to... I originally thought it was filming in Texas because the guys I'm working with are in Texas and I've been talking with them a lot. But I'm actually going next week to film in Louisiana, in Shreveport.
Oh,
Nice.
cool, man.
How long?
I'll be honest. If I had to choose, I'd rather go to Louisiana than go to Texas.
Yeah.
Ever.
I have to go to Texas in October.
I'm sorry.
I hear that's where a lot of stuff's going on right now. Louisiana's like the place to be. So
hell yeah.
Cool, man.
Try to check it out. You know, I'm going out there from the 6th to the of March, and it's 9 days. But I you know, I'm ready to go. So I tell everybody it's a week. But I'll be from the 6th to the 10th, and I just went shopping today and bought a bunch of new stuff. And we're working with. We've been working with crazy ideas this whole time. They've been hitting me up and sending me scripts, and it's gonna be fun. So far, I'm in the 1st and 3rd episode, and then he just wrote me into the 4th episode as of yesterday.
Nice, dude.
So. You know, it's coming along, and you know, it'll be some pretty cool stuff. I hate to give away too much, but you know, you guys have to check it out. I'll definitely let you guys know when everything comes out, and as soon as we get this filmed, it's gonna go live. We're gonna do it.
Dude, when you said that you just went shopping for your trip, I imagine you went to a store and bought like a Louisiana shirt and a Louisiana hat and like a big styrofoam hat that says #1 Louisiana, and like you're like, I'm ready for this.
What do you say? Say it again.
He got a shirt that says "I Alligator Louisiana."
That's how I roll.
Yeah, dude. You got win in Rome, right?
We're in Louisiana.
Win in Louisiana.
Wear shirts with alligators on them. You'll blend right in.
Every time you call in, we're gonna all be wearing Albuquerque everything from now on, just to welcome you.
Albuquerque everything.
Make you feel at home. Yeah.
We're gonna rape the.
What?
I meant to say rep, but I've had like 9 beers. We're gonna rep the fuck.
We're gonna rape the shit out of Albuquerque, dude.
I was gonna say we're gonna rep.
Shit's getting weird.
It's a lady
now.
present.
I was gonna say we're gonna rep the fuck out of the ABQ, and then I fucked it up.
He's like, yo, we don't like rape down here.
Damn it! Of all words to fuck up, it had to be that one.
It had to be rape.
You had to drop the rape bomb.
Go. What?
We love rape down here.
All right, then. Well, then, sir, you are in good company.
What's
We're
going
in Albuquerque.
We're in Albuquerque.
That's straight up ABQ shit right there.
We here in Jersey are also fond of the rape.
What's going on with the music, dude?
Just stay busy with all kinds of stuff. I've been working with some new artists and just trying to keep it all going, man. I'm actually working on a whole new album that I'm doing. It's gonna be all original beats, everything. I'm also doing a mixtape on the side, but I'm doing a whole album solo.
Cool.
Nice.
Absolutely, dude.
And you're doing your own beats too?
As well as recording a new artist that I picked up. His name is Charlie Hustle Bars. His real name is Charlie Bars, so he spits the bars. But we also just been working on a little bit of everything, man. I'm trying to stay busy. Music videos, as much stuff as I can get my hands on. I'm trying to do it all. You know what I mean?
And you're pretty good with the beatboxing. So, are there going to be any songs that are all you, nothing else? Just you do the beats, you do the music, just all your mouth. Only coming out of your mouth hole, Rodney. That's what I'm saying. I want to hear it.
Well, you know what? I will do you a song now. I've yet to do a beatboxing and my lyrics on it.
That's what I want to hear. I
Corner
really want to hear
the
that.
fuck out of that market, man, because nobody's doing that shit, dude.
Let's try a little beatbox. Want to do one?
Yeah. Do it.
Make
Let's
it
hear
happen, Rodney.
it. Beatbox like fuck. Go for it.
Alright. wise how this will go, but if you guys ever watched have you guys ever watched the movie with Vince Vaughn and fuck, what the fuck is it called? I can't even think of it right now. Anyways, what we're gonna do is we have what, 5 people in the room? There?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, we got
6.
Yeah.
All right. Can we get each person to do a little bit of a sound, and we can bring in our own beat together?
Let's do that shit.
All right.
If I can get, let me get everybody's names real quick.
Rick?
John?
Stone.
I know Rick.
You know me, yo.
Stones.
John.
John.
Stones.
Mike.
Sarah.
Mike.
Yep.
Ryan.
I'm Sarah.
So Rick, John, Stones, Mike, Sarah, Ryan.
All right, cool. So Rick, let's get you to do a little bit of something like we'll do like boom, 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 boom,
You're about to get weird.
Bum, 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 boom, 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 boom,
You can do a little scratching from there. Go.
Do not lose the beat.
Stop hitting the tape.
I'll be live and I'll come and step the room and we'll rip the mic. And if I keep the beat going for nights, I'm going to go for days and I'm going to go in ways that girls' legs open up and spreading it. I'm going to come through and I'm putting butter on bread and it. It's Rodney Rush, motherfucker, spreading them synonyms across the world. Cause I'm going from New Mexico to New Jersey and y'all heard around this about Rodney Rush, so just pound this. Now I'm just kidding. Sides together.
We got this fucking happen, dude.
You guys are the worst beatboxers ever.
By the way, I never said I could do it.
We're very white over here.
We're feeling Trevor Moore's pain.
Worth a try. And I'll tell you what, it didn't go totally bad.
Good attempt. Good
I think we sold
Hey, it went decent for me putting y'all on blast. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
My back probably could have been a little better. So hey.
Yeah, Rodney, you're gonna have to work on that. You know? Work on your shit. You fucked us all up.
You're blaming it on me.
Dude, you started talking about leg spreading and butter and
I know, it was all hard.
I mean, we do this all the time. You must be the problem.
Rodney?
You guys are tight. Hey, I'm gonna have to go out there and drink with you.
Yes, you are.
Please, dude.
That's the next thing we need to do. Is I need to be out there having one of those delicious beers with you guys and getting drunk. It's a good thing I drank a little something before I came. So
What'd you drink? What'd you drink?
oh, bro, still on the vodka thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I enjoy the vodka. It works for me.
What you got?
But hey, I like that Guinness right there in front of the camera. I keep wanting to grab it. It's like life size. I'm like, oh shit, that's not my beer.
Unfortunately for you, that motherfucker is empty as fuck.
So what's new with you guys? What have you been doing? Tell me about what's going on.
Dude, well, in the last few episodes, we had David Uri on, who was also on Breaking Bad.
Oh.
We had Naomi Grossman from American Horror Story on. And we just been getting people, man, like you know.
Doing our thing tonight. We got Mike Depko. He's a local favorite, and he's in bands in Jersey.
Fuck yeah, man. We had Mike Depko on.
You know, we're getting the bands on. We're getting the.
That's what's up, man. That's what business, man.
Dude, man.
Those are all great
all
people.
across the board.
We're all underground, dude. You know what I mean?
Support locals.
And you, dude, you're the man because you fucking You had to taste that fucking shit, dude, on fucking regular TV, and you're still underground, man. You're still fucking.
I'm still trying to keep on tasting. I'm gonna keep tasting forever. That's the way I figure it. I'm like, I see a big ass pie. I have like this big of a slice. I'm trying to get the whole thing.
Dude, I think you will, because you don't stop.
Yeah, I think you will,
That's
dude,
all that
because
really
dude,
matters.
you work hard as fuck, man, and you do your hand and everything.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Hey, I'm gonna be having some new video projects coming for y'all. I got some. I'm doing a couple music videos with the guys I'm working with on Bad Buddha, the dude out in Texas that I'm working with. His name's Chaos. We're doing a music video here soon, and you know, like I've been trying to pick up more music videos. That's really what I like to be doing.
Sure, man.
My cousin's got a lot of new stuff, and it's been a long time since I've been over here at his house. We've been trying to keep things flowing, but he's been busy, I've been busy, and it's just kind of how it's been. But as soon as I can get some video stuff your guys' way, I will.
Good.
And on top of that, the way I did that difference video where I did the still clips, I'm working on a still clip video, another one. So I'm trying to do something that I have that's real lyrical, and I'm doing another one of those. I'm going to call that my style.
Nice.
Hey,
Perfect.
Just do it.
Plug that rap battle where you can find that again, because nobody heard that before. We were off we were talking
that's
about.
Gonna be so it's UBR battles. I'm actually going to Santa Fe, which is right here next to Albuquerque, to go do that, and I'm battling a guy named Angry Monk. And hey,
kill that dude.
This is probably the most fame he's gonna get right here.
You better be careful. No, don't go against our boy Rodney Rush if you don't expect it. You get a fucking brought, motherfucker.
You gotta be careful of those monks know that 5-point palm technique shit.
Hey, it's all good. Every time I go at him with the new style, it's gonna be something different. I'm gonna be like, hey, Angry Monk. I'd be like, you fucking upset priest. you fucking vicious Jew.
It's getting a little too real.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Holy fuck.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Just gonna have him beatboxing now.
That's how it goes. Sometimes you gotta hit him low. You gotta hit him high.
I'll tell you what, man. When you get your
you gotta hit him right in the circumcision.
Jesus.
Ryan, you with the genitalia tonight.
Circumcision again. That's like a word I've never heard.
I'll tell you what, man. When you get
it was rape and circumcision.
Christ. This took a turn.
When you get that animation shit popping, man, you gotta let us know, dude, because we're planning to do a fucking animation show here, and if you be a part of it, dude, we'll air your shit, man. It'll be fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I might just have to go on Flash and create characters. You guys have to send me a list of everybody who's on and who wants to be on for it, and I'll create some Flash cartoon characters, because I know Flash. It's not nothing super spectacular, but we can start on this level and then move up to this level.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not, dude?
I'll gotta start.
So
somewhere.
send me a list of names, and I'll start creating cartoon characters, bro.
Dude, I will send it to you first thing in the morning if you want.
All right,
Well,
sounds good.
date.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
like style.
All right, man. So let me ask you something, dude. You got a final word tonight. This is your final word. This is your message to the world. What do you want to say? Plug yourself and give a final message.
Rodney fucking Rush.
This from Ryan. It goes like this.
Nice.
Is that the end?
That's all that needed to happen.
That's it. That's final words.
That's the final word.
Yeah.
Rodney, this motherfucking clink goes out to you, my friend. Thank you for calling in. I hope we can talk to you again in the next few shows. Would you do it?
Sure.
Fuck yeah, man. We're gonna be here for you no matter what the fuck you need, man. Just let us know. We're on the air, dude.
It's like a blanket on a cold day.
Y'all have a good fucking night. Hey, get faded and pass out in weird places that you don't know you were at.
That's gonna happen.
Done. That's how you know it's a good night.
Dude, how did you know it was Tuesday?
That might happen the easiest for me. Throwing it out there.
Rodney, you have a good night, my friend. Thank you so much, dude.
Hey, from Albuquerque to Jersey, man, you hurt?
Fuck yeah, you're hard. Have a good night. Dude, that dude is a real ass motherfucker, dude.
He's the best. He's so fucking awesome.
I love that fucking
He just
dude.
comes on and just I love it. There's no pretension whatsoever. He's, you know,
oh man,
he's
you know
got
what?
no
If there's pretension, you probably don't belong here.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Some of you guys are a little pretentious.
Well, no, we're pretentious, but
Sometimes you guys are a little full of yourselves. Like John has that shirt, and it's like a picture of himself with giving a thumbs up that he wears all the time. You know, it's like, come on, John, really?
Is that really pretentious?
Really, John? Like, reel it in a little, all right?
I just love that shirt. What can I say?
We just said we love Rodney, and we don't like anybody here.
yeah, fuck all you.
Oh Lord! Oh
It's
crap!
awesome
Now we have to
person.
entertain
We all
people by
get raped.
ourselves.
Damn it!
Raped,
All right, let's do a
raped
beat.
out.
rapey, bitch.
This reminds me of the movie The
All right,
Breakup.
wait, no, I don't know what time it is. Yes, I do.
It's like
It's
11:06.
11:06. It's actually earlier than I thought. Well, we do have a guest tonight
Yes.
who, while is supposed to be drinking at the bar with us, is also a guest, and we're going to talk a little bit
Wait,
to
I
him.
am drinking though.
Yes, you are. You are drinking.
I've been.
May or may not be alcohol.
It is alcohol.
No, I know it is, but I was just, leaving it up to interpretation.
I'm not.
This is
familiar with these cans.
I do a gluten-free diet.
No, I've heard about those.
It's good.
Yeah, why is
that a good
that
one?
It's good.
funny?
I've never seen it before.
Most people with
just-
Lyme disease are usually gluten-free.
I mean, I don't want to be gluten-free, but it kind of have to be.
Oh, you have to. It's like a
Yeah,
thing.
it's
huh?
like a thing.
Well, celiac disease
I didn't mean to
is
laugh
a real.
at you.
I don't know if you
Oh,
have
that's
celiac. I'm assuming you
And this
might.
is my newest favorite gluten-free beer made by Glutenberg.
Have you ever tried that Red Bridge
Love
shit?
it. I
Is
love
good?
it. But this, what's tough about being gluten-free is there's a few things you got to understand that you're just not gonna have. You're not gonna have good pizza.
It's wheat now, right?
Bummer.
Right. You're not gonna have you're not gonna go get a sub. You know, a sub sandwich or
No more cheesesteaks.
no. It's all about the bread. And then my biggest thing for me was no more Guinness.
Yeah.
That was like heartbreaking.
That is heartbreaking.
So I found Redbridge. Redbridge is made by Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah.
Great beer.
It's good?
Reminds me of like a Yingling mixed with a Killian's.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
it's really good.
I can sign off on that.
Is it easy to find? Like, is it hard?
That's probably the easiest.
The Red Bridge is the most stocked. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
If you're
But that's what sucks. It's like if you don't like Red Bridge, there aren't a whole lot of like you really
There's
have to
not.
look hard to find.
and some of them really taste like shit.
Yeah, I heard.
So I found this one. I was in Vermont and I tried a different one they had. It was awful. And then I found this one, the Red Ale. I was like, oh, let me try it. And to me, like I said, the biggest thing for me was losing out on Guinness.
Yeah.
This tastes like Guinness to me.
Oh, excellent. Well,
So,
good.
Wow.
yeah.
I'm glad you found it.
So
That's
it's,
excellent.
in the Jersey,
And
I
it
guess
comes
New
in
York
tall
area,
cans,
Wegmans.
too. That's great.
What is it?
Yeah.
And it comes in tall cans.
It does.
Too.
It
That's
does. So
fantastic.
this is definitely my favorite one right now. So.
Awesome. That's good.
And it does the trick. A lot of these gluten-free beers I'm noticing have a higher alcohol content.
Yeah. Have you ever
Really? For real?
Have you ever?
You're a
brewed
Guinness
your own
guy here.
beer?
Taste it. Tell me that doesn't remind you of Guinness. Now,
I've been drinking it all night.
Me too.
That's
Has some
perfect
celery
time.
to clear the palate.
Yeah.
But think about it. Reminds you.
Wow.
It's not as thick.
What is the benefit of going gluten free?
Well, it's not
Do
a
you have
benefit.
celiac? Do you
Some-
have celiac?
Yeah.
I think
Okay,
for
okay.
him, he has
Yeah,
a
but-
necessity.
Okay, but beyond the necessity, is it good for people?
Yes.
Who, okay. Why?
The necessity. A lot of people think it's an allergy.
Okay.
Joint inflammation, right?
There's that. It's not an allergy. It's just like if someone was lactose intolerant, you just can't have dairy. You can't. Your body doesn't process the wheat protein, which is gluten, properly.
And it also damages the inside of your intestine.
It'll damage your
become
colon.
malnourished because. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
all right.
just-
I just want to make sure they can hear you. That's all.
Huh? I mean,
What did you say?
there's a lot of stuff. I mean, there are people who don't need to be gluten free that do it because even if you think of all the paleo craze right now,
Sure.
way back
my
when,
mom, my sister. Are
but way
all
back
about
when, people didn't make bread.
Mm.
They didn't process a wheat,
Yeah.
so their body wasn't designed to process it. So that's the whole idea with this.
And not only that, what we eat now as wheat didn't exist decades ago. Wheat that existed
Well,
decades ago,
yeah, I'll
you
tell you,
can't find on the planet
thing is
anymore.
with it, there's no pill, there's no cure, there's when I went to my doctor, he said, "Look, you just have to change your diet." And it took a little while, but once I did it, I felt a lot better.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, and now it's so popular. You can
it's
get,
great that there are options.
You can
where
get a beer that
walk into
tastes
a
like a
store
Guinness.
and
You can get gluten-free rye bread. It's amazing.
Totally.
So. But it is a little hard. It's unbelievably expensive. I mean,
Change usually is.
I buy a loaf of bread for $6. And it's like this small. It's ridiculous. But what do you do?
Yeah, I had to change. I mean, you have a lot of people with Lyme disease are gluten free, and they develop a lot of food allergies. Like shellfish was like my favorite food my whole life, and then after I got Lyme, I became allergic to shellfish, like deathly allergic to it. And you know, I had to change radically the way I eat, and it is so expensive to eat healthy.
Yeah,
it's
really
actually very sad that to poison yourself is on the cheap.
Super cheap.
But in order to nourish yourself, you have to pay so much that it's impossible.
I've been probably doing it for like 6 or 7 years, and
wow, so you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. You know, it's tough too, like doing the band thing, playing in different places and stuff. You know,
on the road.
I hate being that guy. You know what I mean? I hate like we get somewhere and it's like, so we're gonna get pizza for everybody. It's like,
Right.
Can I get a salad?
Everywhere we go.
I have a friend that had to go gluten free. I feel bad for him, so of course I mock him relentlessly.
all my friends do too, or my bandmates or whatever. But everyone understands it, and it is what it is. I don't care. People make fun of me or fuck with me. It's fine.
Sure,
but,
good.
I'm staying alive.
I don't care. I mean, what I would love to pound that Guinness right now, but it's gonna make me sick.
Yeah. By the way, your beer tastes just like it. So
it's amazing.
Fuck it, man.
It's
amazing.
Really cool.
That's good.
Really cool.
So it's just something something I have
Look,
to
man,
do.
dude, it's one thing to make jokes and we'll mock you relentlessly, but at the end of the show or the end of the day or whatever, if you're doing something that's going to better your life and your health, that's number one. You know what I mean? Anything that's good for people is good.
I am like
fucking liberal bullshit.
Pinky stones.
I'm like amazingly arthritic. You know what I mean? Like I've had bad knees my whole life. And the older I get, now I have a bad right hip. My shoulders feel it really bad. So
you might want to look into it.
Going gluten free might actually help to ease that.
It could, yeah. A lot of doctors say, whether they diagnose you or not, they'll tell you just try this for 2 to 4 weeks.
Just try an
if you feel better,
diet.
then there you go.
Wow.
Your body doesn't. You don't need it. You don't need.
Yeah, I'm just I'm very anti. I don't like going to the doctors very much. You know what I mean. I just don't.
Anti-health.
The only thing
it's not anti-health. I try to be healthy to my definition of what healthy is, but maybe my definition is flawed.
Is my own conception of what it should be.
The one thing that's kind of cool sometimes if I go to a certain restaurant or if we were playing somewhere or whatever, and it's kind of known before we get there, sometimes just a little bit of special treatment. It's kind of nice, but it's so easy to go somewhere and do a gluten-free option.
Really? Sure.
Yeah, it's only as hard as you make it.
It's become that way, which is good to see.
That's true, because when I started to switch, one of the biggest things was about 8 years ago or something like that, I stopped eating beef because the fat in beef makes inflammation worse. And as you can see, I can't use most of my fingers anymore, and I don't need inflammation to be worse. And I stopped eating beef, and it was really hard at first because beef is incredibly cheap, and when you have no money for food,
and
especially
it's very tasty.
actually even at one point I was going to food banks for a couple months when I lived in Denver, and even they give you cheap ass beef. Beef is fucking cheap. I stopped eating beef and I switched to buffalo, and it's an expensive change, but after a month of not eating it and then eating it again,
just go to Aldi and get some of that high quality horse meat.
Actually,
there's your alternative.
I'm actually now
amazed what real horse meat costs.
I'm actually on a strictly only horse diet at this point.
Horse meat?
I'm a big foodie, and
I love
donkey meat.
Seahorse meat is good. I've never had the real thing, but it takes a lot to make a burger.
But when I started doing it, there was no beer. There was no. There really wasn't even much bread.
You did it years ago. I don't even think bread.
That's only maybe
Redbridge wasn't around. And I remember talking to my doctor, and I'm like, oh man, so what does this mean? He's like, no pizza, no lo mein. I go, Guinness? He's like, no. I'm like, I gotta come on. I go, Jameson. He's like, you're good with the Jameson. I'm like, all right, perfect. We can compromise it.
You live another day.
Make this work. But I mean, I remember there was like one brand of bread I could get.
Yeah,
No pasta,
bread was rough.
nothing.
When I went to my
rough.
first Lyme doctor, he's like, what do you eat? I was like, I eat a lot of sandwiches. He's like, okay, you can't do that anymore. Yeah, I was like, rice. I tried rice bread for a while, and I'm like, I fucking hate that. Like, I can't find a way to like rice bread ever. Like, it just tastes like little bricks.
Well, I mean, luckily now there's a lot of it's true. All that shit's so dry and
It is
disgusting. And you have to
horrible.
toast it. But anyway, there's so many things. It's become popular and known now that there's a lot of options for celiac and stuff like that. So. Wow, gluten free. We can talk about that for a whole show.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus Christ.
I'm a big believer as food is your best medicine.
Oh,
so,
totally. Yeah, I'm into
you
it.
know,
Mike, did we talk about your projects at all? Has that happened?
no,
yet?
that has
No,
not
that's-
happened.
She's trying to get
I
to
was
it.
trying to get to it.
Because Last Days Vampire
for an hour. So
Last Days Vampire have been around how long?
All right, so Last Days of Empire would probably be my out of all the projects I do, that's probably my number one. It's my baby. Me and one of my best friends, my buddy Brian. It's like I always refer to him as my partner in this. It's our thing. It's our baby. That's been going around for about 10 years.
And,
What year did it start?
03, 04.
You guys played with a guy who actually introduced me to you, Dan Ridenauer. from
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dan. I've known Dan
he
forever.
years back, like when they were getting started and stuff, they played a show with you.
Yeah.
And I used to go to like as many of their shows like
Yeah.
and I had to miss that one. And he called me the next day and was like, dude, we played with this band last night called Last Days of Empire, and I swear to God, I'm like a cult fucking
That's awesome.
follower.
That's awesome.
He sings your praises
Well,
for that.
yeah,
music,
man.
like,
Dan,
unbelievably.
I've known Dan probably since we were 16, 17.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was in a band, and this is back like when, before the whole Last Days thing, we were like, in hardcore bands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Dan was in a
Talking about
band.
Blue Year?
Yeah.
Yeah. We played with you. Oh, wait. Before we say that, though, start pointing out something here.
Jared. We didn't
What's up?
in the chat.
Jared.
Sorry to interrupt, but.
Oh, hey, what's up, Jay?
But,
Blue Year's badass.
Sarah pointed out to me that you and I always say that we play together, but we never say where. We have a band called Twine
Oh, there
that's
you go.
been going for 16 years.
Oh my God, cool.
16
What? Yeah.
fucking no, it's
Well,
it's a very weirdly
Oh, I know.
assembled.
It's going into that artist phase.
Yeah,
It's not
it's like
actually
we
a band,
might
it's just-
play, but
it's an
maybe fuck you.
idea.
It's a concept.
It's
It's a concept, asshole.
last time.
We were going there with Aaron and Dan and all this stuff.
Yeah, man.
We were doing Blue Year.
Yeah.
When I said, dude, I know my friend Mike would be great on the show, and I feel like you probably played shows with him without knowing.
We have definitely played with Last Days.
Oh,
Vampire.
totally. Or
Yeah.
no, probably back in the
No,
day.
probably before that.
In the best band name ever, in the Livid Days. Oh
Yeah,
my
I
God.
think that
yeah.
you've actually
We were
played
so
with Livid.
angry. Oh my God. Awful.
Well,
When you're
Livid,
young,
dude, but
you're
Livid-
mad.
But dude, I remember when Livid was around. Like, I heard about them a lot. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they weren't. I mean, Livid was pretty fucking big at the
Got
time.
big,
you
man.
know?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's true.
It was a lot of
I
fun.
remember that.
I remember being young and having, playing a show.
And wearing big pants.
I didn't wear the big pants.
Bullshit, motherfucker.
Hold on, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna name names of ex-band members or still people that are still my good friends, but I never wore the UFOs. I always kept it real with the Dickies.
Nice.
Good. The way it should be.
Hey,
I'm a
look,
Dickies girl.
You goddamn right.
I'll
There you
admit
go.
it. I got into all that stuff when like kind of the tail end of like the Good Bad Brains, and then like the beginning of like Deftones,
Yep,
and like when Korn was actually good.
Oh,
And
God.
so yeah,
No,
Dickies
I will
and
argue
Adidas.
that they're still good.
Oh, no! Let's keep
Fuck
talking
you, and
about.
I'm coming back,
Rick, I
and I will win.
thought we were talking about my stuff.
Let's not talk about
The guest.
But anyway,
Mike Depko from Last Days of Empire, talk about your stuff.
No Korn, no
Like he's a guest on this show or something.
right? No, I mean that whole time period. I mean, yeah, there you go.
Untouchables is pretty good.
When Twine is more than a band, it's a lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Have a look around.
But I mean, I remember that time.
What it's become.
I remember that time was like really interesting if you were playing anything heavier. You know, we got lumped in with a lot of NJHC bands, and
know the feeling.
It'd be very, it'd be very interesting to play a show with E-Town or Fury 5, and it's like, wow, like these guys are cool. I'm not really into what they do, but they're really cool dudes.
Yeah, sure.
And we don't sound anything like this, but I'm down for it because you know
we used to play with the Day of Pigs all the time.
Yeah,
And their bass player was from
TJ. TJ was in our band for a while.
Actually,
awesome guys, man.
That's actually what we love, and we really love it. And then because we and you probably can understand this completely. We cut our teeth doing what, you take it over?
Nice.
All right.
This is your.
All right. Well, we cut our teeth in that same scene doing the hardcore thing, kind of whether you wanted to or not. You know what I mean? Like you were just, that was what it was. Those were the shows that were available to book, and we never really fit into it. You know what I mean? Like you said, it was just like, the other bands we played with were like, like you said, cool dudes, but a lot of dudes gave us, they were just like, the fans of those bands. Like, we would be backstage hanging out with the guys that we're playing with, and they're like, wow, you guys are really interesting. You're not, you're run-of-the-mill band.
That's kind of
and then we get on stage, and all of their fans are like throwing bottles at us and booing us off the fucking stage because we don't. No, because we didn't fit.
Riots.
Yeah, we didn't fit the mold of what they considered to be heavy or hardcore.
And by the way, we also got thrown off stage with the FBI and DEA one night.
Yeah.
And that, by the way,
epic. Yeah.
Nobody can say that shit, and I got it on videotape.
I had to smuggle weed out of that building in my ass crack.
I'll agree
like
that,
15 years ago.
I'll agree that just from what I remember of that era, like you guys weren't anywhere near that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were,
and neither
strange.
were we. But I
we were just trying to be odd.
I understood why, like, maybe people related to it. It's like, wow, so we all had gross Rob Zombie hair and wore Adidas.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway,
exactly.
So we did all that.
Adidas
and then,
are dumb.
What are we talking about?
Well, no, but I value the fact. I value that a lot though, because it really served us well later on, because we came up outside of our element, and in play we just had to be adaptable so much. So when we finally got the opportunity to start like owning the Saint for a night, you know what I mean? Like when we had draw power and we could just get a place and they'd say, all right, book whatever bands you want.
Right.
We could book anybody. We had hip-hop artists. We had fucking acoustic, anybody we could think of that would be odd or weird or completely...
But it made sense.
But it made sense. It was all appealing music.
Yeah, I've done that too,
I really appreciate it, and I don't think we would have ever gotten to that point if we weren't comfortable playing outside of, and not having a genre, you know what I mean?
Your band definitely has the same history.
Yeah, totally.
Or similar.
And then if we're talking about the Last Days thing, so a bunch of time goes by, we all grow up a little bit, and me and a couple other friends that were from that era and those bands, like, all right, well, we're grown up now. Let's do something.
Sure.
We know how to play a little better. We're a little more mature. And
we're not as livid.
Right.
As we once were.
We never were. I mean, now it's like, all right, we're listening to more Sunny Day Real Estate and the Smiths.
Oh, I love Sunny Day. Pick a Swedish name.
Exactly.
I love Sunny Day Real Estate.
That's even farther down. So anyway, so you asked before how long the Last Days.
Sure.
So I guess I'd say 2003, 2004.
Okay.
And it's totally different than what it's totally different now than what it was.
Sure. Excellent.
So then back then it was, okay, at that time there was a lot of, I guess, what you would call like emo core happening.
Yep. Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? A lot of those kind of bands were kind of coming up. And when, at the end of like the Livid days and the hardcore stuff, that's kind of like when that happened. And we were really heavily influenced by a band called Code 7. We're so into that band.
Mm-hmm.
Buddies of ours play shows, and we come through. Snapcase, Old Deftones,
yeah.
Sunny Day. And we're like, wow, like, what if we like put all that together and had this really like gay heavy band? You know what I mean? Like,
nothing wrong with that, dude.
I remember when people
seriously.
used to insult us by calling us emo core, and now that's
One thing
north.
about him, I
That's
have to
the-
say,
yeah.
is he can sing like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Oh no, yeah,
honestly,
your voice, yeah, you
dude,
have a fantastic
you
voice.
really fucking can sing. Like, holy shit. Can
Yeah, I'll
sing.
never forget one time playing. I remember our buddies in E-Town back in the day. We played with them, and I remember
I love those
wore
guys.
a Get Up Kid shirt.
Yeah.
We'll probably get beat up, but I don't give a fuck.
Right.
We're good. But anyway, so then it kind of turned into this. Well, now we're older. We know what we want to do. Here's what we're happy with. We're a little more better at what we do. And so now where it's at, there came a point in Last Days where one guitar player left, and Brian, my partner, came in, and we kind of got this vibe where I started like writing this kind of story to the music.
Okay.
It was very vague. It was like talked about. There was some imagery.
What do you mean you were writing a story? Like a piece of fiction?
Yeah, like I started writing a story that kind of went.
So like a concept album.
Exactly, but then it became
Basically.
like the whole thing was a concept.
Good.
I got deeper, but not like there wasn't anything really spelled out.
Okay.
And then we did our second album or record, whatever you want to call it, and that was all about it, and every song related to part of it. So now where we're at now, I mean, the last record we put out was probably like 4 years ago, and where we're at now is, I was just telling Sarah earlier, like I wish I had some of this stuff. We just kind of finished up some more of this new record this week, and I wanted.
Was it?
With Last Days.
Okay.
If that's a question.
Yep.
Man, to think about this real quickly. The band, it's a 6-piece band.
Okay.
And,
Be polite.
Cat Whisperer, it's fine. It's
Please
fine.
rub me.
We got 3 of them, they're good.
She's nice.
She was like poking him.
Yeah, she'll tap you on your shoulder if she wants you to
It's
pet her.
insane.
Cool.
Yeah,
So it's like a
so
6-piece live thing.
Just ignore her.
And then when it comes to the writing, where we're at now, me, Brian, and then my buddy Chris Penny, who couldn't be here tonight.
Yeah.
Sure.
You guys may remember him from Dillinger
Absolutely.
and Coheed.
Going.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to say when the show started that we apologize that Chris couldn't be here tonight.
He'll come
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
He was
I'm
bummed
sorry,
out.
yeah, he
No,
couldn't
yeah,
be
it's
here for
all-
personal reasons.
And,
And
like,
I meant to say that and didn't.
And I'm a huge fucking Dillinger fan, like past and present, but like I don't even like just what he did, you know what I mean? And like because not even like you know, and then he went on to Coheed and Cambria, and then but what I'm most impressed about with him is like him touring fucking country doing Drum Theory.
Yeah.
You know what I
that's
mean?
awesome.
Like
Yeah.
this guy, like
Right.
I mean, I love his fucking ability. I mean, like,
this
you
is
know,
interesting.
whatever is what it is, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care about, like, you know, I'm not here representing the Dillinger fan club. I do love them to death, but, dude, Chris Penny, like, changed the way that I view percussion. You know, the first time I heard him play on Calculating Infinity and Under the Running Board
Yeah,
and all
you're
that,
like,
like,
what the
I was
fuck is
just like,
happening?
what the fuck? Like, this doesn't make any sense, and yet I have found the rhythm, and I'm nodding my head to it, and I know that it fits, and I know that it's a beat, but it doesn't sound like it should be, and like, there's just a simple fact, this guy like reinvented
Right.
the way that people approach drumming.
Well,
Like,
it's interesting.
he's
'cause
unbelievable.
I guess you could say the 3 projects I'm involved with all include Chris.
Yeah, excellent.
So,
Sweet.
so,
Good.
so if real quick, back then, I was a huge fan of Dillinger from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I was, for whatever reason, I was always like a drummer singer. I always, whenever I remember, even when we play, anywhere we play, oh, what do you want your monitors? Just the kick drum. That's all I ever wanted as a singer.
Yeah, sure. Keep the beat,
And
absolutely.
for me, it was Dave Grohl, Abe Cunningham, and Chris Penny.
Sure.
That's
Yeah,
right.
and Dave Grohl was like a metronome.
Right.
He,
Dave
Kurt Cobain
Grohl
said he was a human
Right,
metronome.
and then so anyway,
I
fast
like
forward
Mike
now.
Portnoy too. He's fucking retarded.
Too much for me, but anyway. Fast forward a few years ago, so doing the Last Days thing, doing a ton of stuff, and I befriend Chris and our buddy Brett, and we start just talking about gear and getting this and that, and they were working on Chris was doing Coheed, and he was working on a project with Brett and our buddy Ronnie called Return to Earth, and it got picked up by Metal Blade. It was really cool, very, very like Faith No More meets Dillinger meets
Awesome.
Filter meets
Cool.
Oh, me
Slayer.
too. I love that you use that filter.
Yeah, me too.
I like that you drop that. I
to
love
hear that.
filter.
So
I
this-
love filter.
So then they, out of nowhere, these guys asked me like, "Hey, why don't you play bass in Return to Earth?" I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, we know you're a singer. Why don't when you play bass. I'm like,
Great.
okay.
I got nothing to do on
Now
Tuesday.
I gotta figure out where am I getting the bass from, and now I gotta fucking play in the rhythm section with Chris fucking Penny. Awesome.
Oh, great. Yeah, that should be easy.
So I do all that. It's great.
Listen, one thing we've learned from this show is when someone asks if you can do something, you just say yes,
Right.
whether
Just say
you
yes.
can or not, and then you teach
I mean-
yourself as you go along.
I mean, who would have turned down that? I mean, before we were really close, it was like, holy shit, like, this is a cool opportunity, even as a musician.
Yeah.
That first time I played with those guys, I left a better musician. So anyway, all that, so we did Return to Earth thing. So now, this turns into Torild, okay? And Torild is something that Chris and Brett were working on with Helena, who was also in Coheed.
Okay.
For the live stuff.
Sure,
You guys
yeah.
are- She's sings
A
on stage.
performer.
Yep, I know exactly. Yep.
Awesome. So then they asked me to play guitar, and Chris and I kind of transposed. Torild is very electronic and orchestral.
Yeah.
Good.
How do we make this into a live band? How do you do all this on guitar? How do you make this happen and people think it's cool and not just playing a track?
Yeah.
So Chris and I spent a lot of time, create all right, here's the
Laying
string
everything
section.
out, yeah.
All right, well, here's how I'm going to do it on guitar, and work on all that together. It was a lot of fun, really cool.
I love that you guys tried to make it live. You know, like not play a track,
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
play
yeah.
another
Well, it's
track.
interesting.
I love that you wanted to turn it into
Yeah.
okay, how do we play these?
And what I really
That's-
loved is when he said that you guys were coming on the show and everything, and he was like, "Dude, you know, Chris Penny and Mike are coming on the show, and they have a new band." And I'm like, "Oh, sweet!" And I had this preconceived notion in my head,
Something crazy.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, "Oh wow, Chris Penny and Mike Depko,
Yeah.
sweet, okay." And I go to fucking here, and like for the first 2 seconds, I was like, "Huh?" But dude, it is so haunting.
Yeah.
It's really
beautiful.
like it's haunting. Like it just got stuck. Like it's really impressive.
What's really
I was
cool-
expecting nothing even close to that.
Yeah.
So it blows your doors off right off the
Yeah,
bat because
it's
you
a lot.
don't
Yeah,
expect it
totally.
to come. And then it's just her voice.
Yeah.
Her voice is unbelievable,
She's
and the way
talented.
that you guys, you know, like you were saying,
Yeah.
execute it around her.
Well, what's
is,
really interesting
it's
is
fantastic.
a lot of those tunes, Helena and Chris had just on an acoustic guitar.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh God, I would
And
love
a lot
to
of
hear
what
those
you're
B
hearing-
sides. Yeah, like,
A lot of what you're hearing is Chris and Brett from Return to Earth as well, fleshing these tunes out, you know, and really making something. And it's a lot of fun. But it's definitely like the way we look at it. It's like how Bjork has her thing.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
her
right.
thing. So
Yeah.
this is Helena's thing. So you know, when Helena wants to work on it or do it, I'm down. I'm in. It's cool.
Yeah,
I have a
course.
lot of fun.
Sure.
I spent a lot of time on it, but it definitely challenged me as a musician to write
Good.
that.
Well, that's great though.
But it's
Yeah,
cool how
you
it all
guys
ties in.
rose to the challenge
Thanks,
though.
man.
It's very impressive.
Absolutely.
It's really
It's amazing,
impressive,
dude.
and especially like being, you know, like I said, like, you know, when you consider the names involved and you go to find it, you really do have a preconceived notion of what you're gonna get, and what you get. Not it just it like completely shatters the realms. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like I didn't expect that at all, but I was so happy that I heard it. You know, I was
Yeah.
like, wow,
There was
great,
one
wow.
Time, there was one time where
Didn't see that coming.
Last Days played and Return to Earth played right after. So I was doing
Interesting.
2 sets, and I remember a lot of my buddies in the band really haven't heard, the guys in Last Days really had never heard anything of Return to Earth, and our fans or whatever. I remember we played, they were like, they probably had this idea of, all right, it'll be faster, kind of Dillinger thing, and maybe a lot of screaming and stuff, and it's got a little bit of that, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, like I always refer to like Faith No More meets Filter meets Dillinger.
Groove. Yeah, more
It's
groove.
like a
and-
Slayer kind of thing.
Hell yeah.
So they go. So here's how it all comes together. So I don't know how it came about, but Brian and I decided. Brian lives in Florida. My guitar player, partner, whatever. He lives in Florida. Last Days kind of took a little bit of a break. Everyone kind of moved away. The 6-piece, and then Brian and I said, "Well, look, we're not done. Let's make a record as much as we can, just the 2 of us."
Yeah.
Great.
Why not?
So at this time, I'm doing all this stuff with Chris, becoming very close, and we're in the car, or whatever. And one day I was just playing something Brian sent me. He's like, "Oh, you know what the hell's that?" I was like, "Oh, it's something we're working on, nothing major." He's like, "Well, that's cool. Send it to me." I'm like, "Why?" "I don't know. You care if I play drums to it?" I'm like, "Are you serious?" Like,
no, you're forbidden from
Right.
playing drums,
So
Chris Penny.
turns into what we're doing right now, just kind of finishing it up, wrapping it up, and then we decided, well, wait a minute, what Chris is doing now, just to catch up, is the whole drummer world thing, he's kind of done with. He's kind of mastered that, done that.
Sure, sure.
He's a world-renowned drummer.
No,
Absolutely.
he's
amazing,
he's
So
my
what's
number
incredible.
one. You know,
What's
I
the
mean,
natural progression? Let's score movies.
Yeah, dude.
get the fuck out of here. Good
So-
for him.
So that's what he's
Excellent, excellent.
scoring movies, scoring, internet things, television, some stuff.
That's what really like, and that's
Really
why
cool.
I was like leading to, but like that's what really impresses me about him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing to do with what bands he's been in or what. It's just the body of work, what he has chosen to do with his time, and how he just continues to get better as a drummer. And not only that, but share his knowledge and just keep. Like, it's so impressive. It's so
That's
fucking
what kinda
impressive.
caught
You know what I
me
mean?
when I
Like,
first
he's,
heard Dillinger.
he's
what
like a
caught me
true
was-
professional. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
my god, totally.
Yeah.
What caught me about Dillinger was the drumming at first.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the professionalism behind, like this is kind of a mess, but I get it.
Yeah.
And then even when I remember before I even knew Chris, when he joined Coheed, it was like, huh? Like, drummer from Dillinger's and Coheed?
Yeah, I was shocked. I was shocked.
And then you hear it, and I remember one time...
It makes sense.
I remember one time we were talking about it, I'm like, oh, dude, this must be so easy for you. He's like, no way. This is a lot harder because there's so much room.
Yeah.
I can either
don't
do a
have to fill
bunch...
Everything else was
So I
heavy,
really-
fast, go.
I always kind of
yeah.
appreciated that. Like, wow, it's a really cool mentality.
That's
So-
thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That's
Yeah,
very
it's
insightful.
It's really cool. And I, just as a friend and as a musician, I've learned so much from him. He's done it all. Traveled the world.
Oh yeah.
Been in a band that's gone platinum and been in a band that's been in a van since they were 17. Just really
Yeah.
cool. So anyway, right now, last days working this record, and we were like, wait a minute, let's like revisit the story. Let's really sit down. And the guy's like, Mike, why don't you really sit down and flesh it out? I'm like, I never really thought of it. And then it started to make a little more sense. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's go with this. Let's write the story. Let's finish this record, and let's meet up on it and really work it out. And let's, where I'm at now is I'm in that stage, and then let's get it to a screenplay writer.
Wow.
Let's see if we could have something that maybe a TV show or a production company would pick up. And then it's like the way we look at it. It's like, well, I'm writing a story. Brian writes a lot of the rock music of it for us. He also does all of our art design. And then you got Chris, who scores it, who can score. So it's like, well, we kind of have this team.
You fucking dudes
This
are
is
gonna
an
do it. You
amazing
guys are gonna do an awesome rock opera movie, aren't you?
Also
It would-
looking
You
to have
fucking
the
awesome
story
bastards.
published separately from the actual project?
Yeah, Brian and I had this idea of, maybe if we were to present it or pitch it, maybe it would be cool if we present it like in a graphic novel kind of.
Yeah, that's kind of how
So
I
like,
saw it in my head.
Brian and I, he hit me up one day. He's like, dude, go to Barnes and Noble and get this one version of Snow White. Okay,
Right.
cool. So I went and got it, and it's like the real story of Snow White. It's the real dark, violent one.
Yeah.
And what we really liked about it was when you open it, the page on the left is a picture. The page on the right is text.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is perfect because the story that I'm working on, it's like, it's a little more vague. It's like a day in the life kind of thing.
Okay.
So that's kind
Does
of
it
where
come
we're
from
at.
like a personal experience, or
No,
is it like-
it's just from being a movie nerd and a comic book nerd, and it's definitely. I don't know if you want to call it like a post-apocalyptic or during the apocalypse.
I'm there. I mean,
And,
whichever one.
I'm there. I'm right in the apocalypse.
And I send these guys my
so you
ideas.
assume you're gonna survive?
I'll send the guys my ideas, and I'm like, let's just put it like this: if you took Children of Men and Terminator and The
Oh, that
Road,
was a great
if you ever
flick.
seen the movie The Road,
I read it.
Well,
Yeah,
we
read
read
it.
or
it.
the book,
Watched
if
it.
you put it all
We
together,
read it, and then we were disappointed in what they did to the movie.
Well, I've heard that
kinda
people
what
were
happened.
disappointed in it shot
because they had
because the book
a
was
side
fucking.
the movie's awesome.
First off, it's one of the best books about nothing happening
Yeah,
almost that I've
is
ever read in
one-
my
that is
entire
an
life.
amazing book.
What
Like
I love
it's
about
read
it-
a book and cry.
the
for
human
hours.
condition is put under the microscope so bad. I'm sorry, but
No,
it's-
dude. What I like about that and like a Children of Men is it's very realistic.
Yes.
When we
Yeah.
started doing this idea where
used to be known as dystopian, which meant you had to project into the future, but nowadays,
right,
we're
here.
It's current. We're there.
Yeah.
We're there.
When we did our last record, it became a little more, I guess, sci-fi.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then now I'm kind of like, I feel like it's easier to write if it's not. It's a little more realistic, and,
Totally.
and that's the approach. So,
Sure.
the music kind of goes with it, the rock end of it, and then, that's what we really like to do is, I'm in the middle of writing it right now, and
Good.
we'll see what happens. And it's it's about kind of, I don't want to say it's about post-apocalyptic. I kind of like it to be when all that's happening.
Yeah.
Modern
And
apocalyptic.
if there was, the whole idea in a nutshell is if there was one nation left on the planet,
Right.
and because of everything happening and people's emotions and this, that, and the other,
Is everything like everything's destroyed and it's
Right.
like rebuilding,
It's
like
dystopian.
starting.
the whole
starting
idea
from
would
the-
be that the premise would be that.
Well, I don't know if that's dystopia because he's talking about like it's ended. It's just happened.
I'm kind of talking about more of its ending.
Oh, okay.
Like,
all right.
The whole my whole idea is that humanity is at the point where they're using so much of the Earth's resources that the Earth's just eating itself.
Wow.
So if that were to happen, what would happen with all the continents?
Sure.
Well, people start leaving, people start defecting, people would start freaking out.
Yeah.
So now people would just go to war. People would kill each other.
For no, yeah.
So the way we view it is that the empire or the last nation left.
Sure.
Well, what do they do? And what would they do if there was a civil war? So what would they do if there was this elitist, hey, we can protect you, we can offer you food, shelter, we'll rebuild, but you have to do it on our terms, like communistic. But then there's,
I feel like we're
then there's
close to
people,
that.
We're
then
getting
there's
very
people,
close to
you take
that.
the Terminator aspect
we're
of
already
resistance,
there.
like, yo, fuck that.
Yeah.
We can do this together.
Uh-huh.
We can kind of preserve it. Well, the powers that be are like, no. So that's kind of where the story's at.
That's sweet, man.
So if you kind of, the idea is like if you took the drama of like The Walking Dead,
Yeah.
and kind of tied it in with, like I said, a Children of Man or a Terminator, that kind of idea.
How far along in the process of executing?
Well, we just
this
finished
are
all
you
the
guys?
demos for the first 4 main tunes.
Are you like
Good.
starting
Record?
for like? Did you guys like start with music, artwork?
Well, it always
like,
started with the music.
Okay.
Yeah, and the artwork kind of came along. Like we'd finish a song, and Brian would go, "Okay, dude, tell me what this is about." And I'm like, "Well, this song's like a diary entry from this person."
So you've got a multimedia piece going here.
So it's
Brian's
like
my guitar
phases.
player, but he's also
But
the
he
artistic.
handles the art, and so when you
Right.
guys write a song,
He can create.
it's Brian.
like all of
Brian
our,
takes it to the lab
right.
and visualizes the audio.
Yeah.
That's
So
that's
our
awesome,
album
dude.
covers he did, all of our merch he did, anything that
And then
required.
and then you got Chris Penny playing the drums and scoring and making sure that everything
Chris
is
also
on point.
too, like, you know, from his background, just coming in and like, hey, you know, why don't we do this? You know, he's got background in you know, I mean, back when Coheed worked with Atticus Ross when the
Oh yeah.
producer.
And dude, I mean, like, you know, anybody can say what they want about the separation between like Doja, dude, Coheed, and like, you know, when I met those dudes when they first did, when they did the first Bamboozle and stuff, you know, and like, you know, and they were cool and everything, and I wasn't it, but like, dude. When I really got a chance to like read some of the comics and like get involved with the story of what the guy was trying
really
to
cool.
create, you know what I mean? Like that is like.
I was a little surprised when like
it's unreal. It's unreal.
When Chris started picking my brain about it. 'Cause
Yeah.
like, come on, the Coheed thing. He's like, no, this is different. This is
exactly.
Don't worry about it.
Sure.
This is cool. And when I think about it, it's like, wow, like Coheed's got this thing where it's very like Star Wars.
Yeah,
It's vast.
But it's also kind of like a love story too. You know what I mean?
But
Like
they got
it's
a million characters and this that. And to me, you know, what we're working on.
well,
is a little more,
yours is much more focused. Yeah,
not
much.
that theirs isn't. But it's
But yours is just more like
right.
you have a point, a premise. You know, like you know where you guys would want to go with it.
I was
you know,
impressed that someone that came from that world thought this idea was cool.
Yeah,
I'm extremely impressed. Like, quick, this is like I did not expect this conversation. Like, that's awesome, dude. Like, that's really cool.
The thing that I want to get at in this story is more of the drama of it, and that it's sad, it's depressing. It's
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Is there really any
Exploit
hope
the
if this were to
emotion,
happen?
yeah.
Like,
right?
Yeah,
exploit the emotion.
Can like mankind go on? Like, and the answer, like, the way I'm looking at it, it's like probably not.
I agree.
You know, so-
I would read that comic. I would listen to that album, and I would watch that movie.
It brings me back to something that I have
completely
said
do
on
that.
this show a million times. People always say nature finds a way whenever we have these conversations, and I always say, yeah, and humankind has removed themselves from nature so much that nature will find a way, but we are no longer a part of it.
Well, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, you know, I think back to all the Final Fantasy games. and like the Gaia of the earth and all that crazy
And it's
stuff.
like, well, we
what would happen if that like revolted
Yeah.
against what we were doing?
And like we've had a couple of conversations here where we started talking, like, and we have like the idealistic aspect of things where we talk about like what should happen and what should, and like I've said a million times and I believe it, and it's just a byproduct of the society that we live in. But like the harsh reality is that nobody wants to save the world.
Right.
There's no, you know what I mean? Like they want to save the world. They want to be good, but they don't do anything. And they let things just unfold, and they let reality get away from them, you know?
The idea with this concept is like, okay, maybe if one side wins, well, then what?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Then we're back in the exact same boat that we were in before.
You know,
Yeah.
and if this is like the last chance for humanity or something, or mankind, or like humans,
sure,
that is brilliant.
Like, what do you need to do to really make it work?
That's
you know,
I can't wait for this to come out, dude. I really can't.
Thanks, man.
I can't wait. I will fucking pre-order that shit. You link me to that fucking website, I will fucking pre-order that
What's really
shit.
cool is like,
are you gonna do it on vinyl?
Yeah, right. What's cool is like when then you have the way I look. This is like another way I think of music, the music industry right now. Okay, we have this product that we're babying, right?
Right.
And it's like, to me, it's like, as a musician, of course, we want to fucking make money, right? It's really hard to make money as a musician.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to make money on tour. You're not going to make money touring or playing shows, this, that, and the other.
Sure.
If you got money to do it, go for it.
Right.
But to me, I'm like, wait a minute. And why don't you capitalize on, let's say if we took that, let's say if we got it licensed, it was in a movie or was in a commercial or a TV show, and then we could present the whole package. Like, hey, we have this whole team, this whole thing that, a record
production company. Yeah.
Or a record company or a production company, like, wait a minute, these guys have a record done, it's a good quality, they've got the story, they got this, they got the scoring. Well, if we took a chance, we don't have to spend a lot on it.
Yeah, and you don't. Yeah, you don't.
By the way,
we don't have to hire all the fucking.
Right.
We don't have to hire all the fucking crazy Hollywood editors and
like
producers and all that. Yeah.
With
You
music,
have to do
if you have a
everything.
total package,
If you have,
I'm not saying I'm the total.
But that's what we're trying to do here.
No, but you are though. You guys have backed yourself up. You have all phases of what you need to accomplish.
And I just
You have the credentials, you have the people, you have the resources, and you can do everything by yourselves. You don't need to sell your idea to a record company. You already have the product.
Sure. Go.
You know what I mean? That
I was
gives you
just
a lot
gonna
more
say,
power.
as someone that loves games, I just want to throw this out there. After you do all that, this would be perfect to show an indie game company. The story, the characters, the environment,
And the soundtrack.
music.
And I barely even told you anything about it.
I know, dude.
Like,
Honest,
in my
you got
head, I
me
was just
pumped. You got me
imagining I
jacked.
would
You
love
got
to
me
play this
jacked up.
game.
Yeah.
That's what I kept thinking. Is I would
Absolutely.
fucking love to play this game.
I got my master's degree in dystopian fiction. So a lot of what you're talking about,
Jesus.
a lot of what you're talking about in terms of adding the music to that. I have a project going that's
Cool.
comparative to that.
It's interesting.
Where I had a piece published less than 2 years ago called "How to Survive," and we turned it into the "How to Survive" project,
Cool.
where we're breaking it down into film pieces and whatever. But the point is that you're talking about transmedia. You're talking about taking things and crossing them, because we no longer live in a world where it's just radio or just movies or just this or just that. You can combine the ideas now.
Yeah, our old guitar player actually that Brian replaced, good friend of mine, Drew. He ended up being a professor, and he's actually in Louisiana now.
Oh, sure.
And he did one of his whole courses was on. I'm probably getting this all wrong, but Japanese anime in like 1980s America.
Wow.
And I remember he sent me something, and the last line of it was the last days of Empire. Like, wow, I really thought about that. Like it's more. It means a lot.
Oh yeah, by the way, probably one of the awesomest band names there.
Yeah,
It's pretty
I don't have the name.
I don't know.
My opinion.
But then again, as a Star Wars fan, I have my own personal reasons.
My opinion, the best band name ever is Poison the Well. That's my favorite.
Yeah, great band.
I love Poison the Well. I love their new shit.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Their whole
Great
shit.
band.
I
Awesome.
love that fucking shit.
Okay, so let me ask something.
Sure.
Where can people find you online? Plug yourself. Plug the shit out of
and
yourself.
right now, nowhere. Let's see.
Come on,
It's not
Mike
nowhere
Depko.
because you got a Facebook page for your fucking band,
Right.
dude.
Well, like I said,
You gotta
okay.
find it.
Let,
It's like
me,
the
let me
90s.
You gotta
clarify.
find it.
Let me clarify.
Go to your
You
local
can,
record store.
You can go on iTunes and find Torild.
Spell it.
Torild.
Okay.
The Battle of Thor in Swedish, which is a lot different than everything else we're talking about. If you're into Bjork or Portishead
Sure.
or St. Vincent, you're gonna like it.
Cool.
Return to
awesome.
Earth is on there. Metal Blade Records again. Filter, Dillinger, Slayer, Nails, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Excellent.
Kind of an amalgamation of all the
Good.
cool
I love
hard
it, dude.
rock
I
that we
love
like.
that.
Last day's stuff, again, like I said, a little bit of a hiatus. If anyone's looking for something, they could contact me or whatever. But we kind of, Brian and I decided, because of the fact that, we were more like a band, and there's 6 dudes in the band, and now it's me and him. It's like, let's just wait until this is done. If someone really wants something, we'll get it to them.
That's kind of
Like the last 2 records, which do follow the story.
Sure.
We've just figured, let's just wait till we have all new songs, a whole new idea before we play again. We were even doing shows where it was me and our piano player.
Wow.
So we took the whole idea of the 6-piece, like, epic rock band into a piano vocal.
Good. Good.
That was cool. But now we're like, let's just wait.
Sure.
Yeah, that's
We don't really
kind
care
of-
about playing.
What about Facebook? Where can people find you on Facebook?
So, Last is Vampire on Facebook.
And what about the other band?
Torild's on there. Return to Earth is on there, yeah.
Yeah, and if you go to Awesome Talk's Facebook page
And you guys
look
have
up our likes,
SoundCloud as well, don't you?
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try not to handle all that.
And
That's
Spotify.
that's
I
kind
gotta
of the
write
same
the story.
thing. Like I love what he just said about that. With that, you know what I mean? Like it. That's what we. Our shit was a band.
Yeah,
it
sure.
wasn't just like a project. Like we are doing projects now. We're working
Now, yeah,
on
yeah, no,
projects.
That's
We're
what's cool
trying to.
about
You
it,
know what
too.
I
Like, we don't even
and
live
that's
near
cool.
each other.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'm
right.
here.
And it can still
you don't need
happen.
to
Yeah.
anymore.
I'm in the Jersey Shore. Brian's in
Sure.
Florida. Chris is up in North Jersey.
Sure.
He'll write guitar parts, send it to Chris. We work on something. All right, Mike, you got to sing on this. And it takes me, 8 months to figure out a cool vocal line.
Whatever it takes, it
And they
takes,
yell at me
man.
the whole time. But anyway,
They always yell at the
also, too,
vocalists.
what I would mention real quick, if we're gonna plug something, is
Please.
Chris and Brett, also from Return to Earth and Torild, their whole thing is scoring. Anything from movies. They just did a movie with Juliette Lewis. They do all
Nice.
kinds of internet
Sweet.
campaigns, commercials. That's Fight Mannequins. That's their whole thing.
It's
So,
a
nice,
production
okay.
company, right? Yeah.
exactly.
And they have
Jeez.
a
I've heard
Facebook
of that
page as
actually.
well.
Yeah, I have heard of that.
So if people are interested, or drummers are interested in what Chris is doing, he's not drumming. He's doing that. So which is really interesting.
That's
really
awesome.
Sounds great.
No, that's cool, and I'm really I'm happy for him, like that he's getting into. He's not in the box. He's
it's
he's
definitely
branching
cool.
out and
Yeah.
doing other that's really cool because he was like, dude, I swear, like I said before, you know what I mean? Just hearing his contributions and just the way that he's composed himself and the way that he's taught. Like I said, he might as well be a fucking professor, dude. The guy went across the whole world and explained to every drummer how they were doing it wrong and how he had the answer, and he's right, and he's like that guy is a legend
It's
in my
cool,
book.
man. I mean, like Chris and I, we'll get more out of, him and I went to the midnight screening with Dark Knight Rises and Prometheus. Like, we get more out of dude, you ready for the fucking score? Did you hear the timpanis on here?
Right, dude?
Hans Zimmer's out of his mind.
When you start doing something, new, dude, you start
It's
seeing
new.
it in a different
I
way.
feel like
Yeah.
it's not even that it's new. It's just that it's a whole progression.
Sure.
Like this whole
Sure.
idea of music is done a different way. Like when you're in a band,
Right.
in a rock band, it's verse, bridge, chorus, and
It's like
What a
when
waste
Neo,
of time.
it's
When
like
you
when
score,
Neo got
repeat.
shot by Agent Smith, and then he could see the Matrix.
So yeah, it's like I get more inspiration. Like hey man, check out this composer. Or I went and saw Gravity on opening night. That night I got the score. I'm like, okay, this is gonna help me sing on this new tune that we're doing more than whatever Glassjaw's put out. You know
Right,
what I mean?
sure, yeah.
Nothing against it. Love it.
Yeah,
But
love
I'm
it
just
too.
saying,
Sure.
in
It's a
terms
different
of,
direction.
I need something different. I need something
Right.
a little more direction. And it's really cool how that can influence how you even play guitar, or what
Sure.
are we going to do when we record it? Oh, that one thing in the Prometheus soundtrack. How do we get that?
Sure.
It's cool.
Well, yeah, it's the thing. Like, I loved a lot of hardcore music and stuff, and I really love like Every Time I Die is one of my favorite bands. Period. Forever. Like just love the lyrical content. Like just love the avant-garde way that guy writes. And just the obscure lyrics and just the really odd way, but it's like it does kind of have a stamp on it, and it is what it is. It's not really you're not gonna break new ground with that, But it's like when I was caught up with them and stuff like that, I found myself suddenly listening to a shitload of Black Keys. Yeah. And found myself suddenly listening to a shitload of blues bands and like Jack Johnson and just acoustic performance. You know what I mean? Because it just. It just like, you know what I mean? Like when you find something that really hits you, it sends you off. It's not just because it hits you and you appreciate it and you love it. It's because it leads you into other places and it opens your mind and expands you to different ideas.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The same way that happens where you hear something that makes you approach what you're doing differently.
Exactly.
Is the same way, like for me, it's like, I don't really care right now about jumping in the van again and going. It's like, wait a minute, why don't we just take that effort?
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe...
Or start a podcast.
How do you get this to someone... How do you get this to a screenplay writer? Okay, cool. Then how do you get that to HBO? How do you do all that?
Okay.
You gotta take that effort and do it.
Look, it's almost midnight, so we gotta start shutting it down. With the final word. You have a special final word tonight, right? You do.
Oh, excellent. Okay. I love
the only person that prepares for final words.
I want to start tonight's final word with Ryan. What's your final word tonight?
I am Ryan the Brains.
That's up for debate.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Well, it definitely is.
I've been saying it for a long time now. That makes it true.
Yeah.
It's not a debate.
Canon. It's like Columbus.
Do we all do a final word?
See, Stone says it's not a debate.
I'm not on your side.
I don't care. Nobody cares about your opinion.
Just get to your goddamn final word.
My final word. Obviously, thanks to Mike for coming through.
Sure.
Epic, awesome.
Thanks.
And we were talking earlier. Like I got a lot of fucking shit going on in my life that sucks right now, and I have but never felt more free than I do at this moment. And it was so nice to be here and just talk fucking music with people who appreciate the finer things in life and good tunes and good ideas and. And thank you guys very much. I really appreciate being here. My second point would be the engineer booth ain't so bad. It ain't so bad. All right? This round robin thing has a chance.
This is the last time we ever hear from Ryan. He disappears.
It is great
The
having
round robin thing has a chance.
It's great having you, Ryan.
But yeah, just thanks to Mike. The engineer booth ain't so bad, and we'll get through it. And as usual, just like we were talking earlier, just don't be a dick, like don't fucking be a dick to people, like let's try and avoid all of these dystopian futures. Let's try and fucking be cool to one another, and let's appreciate everybody's music and appreciate what everybody has to contribute. You know what I mean? And I really, really can't thank you enough for coming and contributing and sharing with us what you're doing, because it was really enlightening, and I'm really, really happy that I was here for it.
And a team in the chat said that the project sounds excellent.
Yeah, it really does.
Now we gotta really work on it.
Okay.
And somebody also said Pinky thought he was the brains too.
There you go.
Fuck you, Hateem.
Stones, you're next, man. Final word, sir. And make sure you protect your voice because the microphone's over here.
Put
Put
on
the blind man cam.
Put your camera on.
Blind cam. Go dark.
Only half of it goes dark because he's only blind in one eye.
Oh.
God, I'm awesome.
Let him go. Let him go.
3/4.
No, you're funny.
3/4 blind. Just to clarify things.
I noticed Mike's face.
You better hurry up, motherfucker.
Did you put your camera on, dude?
Whenever I make fun of Stones being half blind, whenever I make fun of Stones being half blind, I look at Mike's face and he has this the most serious face on, like, this is not funny. It is not okay.
I think you just forced him to go take a crap.
All right, Stones, get this shit on the road.
By the way, it is funny.
So,
it's not that funny.
It's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny.
Come on, Stones, let it ride.
Are we good?
Let it ride.
Do it.
We're gonna stop pissing on you any minute now. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What's that stupid stripe on your chest?
I'm sorry. That's a
all about?
motherfucking Old Navy sweater. I own one.
I don't.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
Now you have to wash your hands.
He's a good guy. All right.
Now your hands are covered in lice.
So.
Oh my god.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go for it.
So when a woman is jogging.
God damn it.
I probably agree with him.
We should have kept talking.
And
Let him go.
Her endorphins are running and she's in a good mood. And you think it's a good idea to grab her arm. You have another thing coming to you. You might want to take a different approach to people.
Personal experience from Stones.
That's an excellent statement.
Yeah, I actually like that.
That's a great.
All
Good
right.
final words, sir.
Next. Are you done, sir? Okay. Miss Sarah, go ahead.
Me?
Yeah.
I want to go off something that Mike was making me think about, which we actually talked about a little bit the other day, which is I love anyone that doesn't say, I'm a singer. Yeah, that's it. That doesn't say, oh, I'm a singer, that's what I do, and boxes themselves in. Because you might be a singer, but you might be a painter that didn't know they were a fucking painter because they just never fucking tried it.
Sure.
Dude, right now Rick and I are working on so many projects that are just so vast, and you're just like, what the fuck are you even doing? And it's like, why are you doing all these different things? It's like, you don't know if you're gonna be good at it unless you try.
Unless you try, right?
Your project
Unless you go
spans
for it.
so many different art forms, and I love that. I wish more people would do that. So
Yeah,
anyone
I'm
that
really
has any
excited
idea
about that shit, by the
they
way.
say, God, this is a fucking crazy idea. I can't do that shit. Do it anyway. Just do it anyway.
Sure.
That's
Why not?
my final word. I want to thank Mike. Dude, I've known Mike since I was 17 years old or something. So I'm happy that he's here. I haven't seen him in a decade, except for a drive-by at Guitar Center.
Weird drive-by.
Wait, you tried to shoot him?
Accidentally.
Pull the 187. How did you pull the trigger?
Good one. Cripple jokes.
Cripple joke.
That took a lot of balls. Was
I
worth
had a
it.
handicap accessible gun at the time.
Perfect.
Anyway, so thank you to Mike. I hope Chris can come. I hope you guys can both come back. And I'd love to see this project.
Maybe we
Absolutely.
get Brian to call in or Skype in or something.
Please.
Absolutely. All right.
Okay.
Next
So,
up.
Final word.
Final
Well,
word.
I just took a shit in the litter box. So I feel
well, that's what it's there for.
I'm a cat guy. I had a great time. Thanks for having me. Great to see Sarah after a long time.
Anytime, dude. Anytime you want to come
had
back.
a lot of fun. We drank a lot of beers. We talked about Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus and Terminator.
We did do that, didn't we?
Batman
Oh, God.
And Star Wars.
Fuck yeah.
And Mark Hamill and
Pretty great.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Good night.
So
It really
Jesus, I got a lot to think about on the way home. So thanks for having me.
Thank you.
I really appreciate
Anytime.
it.
Anytime, please.
Hopefully
Anytime,
hopefully it wasn't, I can come back.
No, come
Oh,
again.
yeah, you can.
Absolutely. Anytime you want to, man. We do this every other Tuesday.
Yeah.
Dan and I should come here together. That'd be
That'd be awesome, dude.
I would personally love
Me
that.
too, man.
Make it
We
happen.
can talk about guitar pedals for 18 hours.
Is that everything?
It would be
Yeah,
very
that's-
interesting.
Hey, golf clap.
It would be very interesting.
Okay,
I would
so
love to have
And
the
as I have
fucking
more
guitar
stuff on the
pedal.
way, I'll you
Yes.
guys.
I would love to have
Definitely,
the
and we
Mike
will
and
post all
Dan
of
guitar
it.
pedal symposium happening right here. I think that would
You
be
want
pretty
to know.
fucking sweet. Yeah.
The collection's at 75 pedals right now. I'm
So-
leave it at that.
Really?
before
75 pedals?
Something
damn,
like that.
goddamn.
Damn, nice, dude.
Motherfucker.
Out
Excellent.
of control.
Before I pass the special final word over to
Mr. Lacki here.
from SuperTeamH2.com, I'd like to say thank you to everybody tonight. Thank you to all my friends here. Thank you to Rodney Rush from Breaking Bad.
Rodney!
For coming
Out of
for
nowhere.
out of nowhere, Skyping in tonight.
Out of the
I want to thank
ABQ,
Mike
baby.
Depko for being here tonight and just for being a fucking great guest. This is hands down one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah, this has been fun.
And you're one of the people I have to thank for that.
Hey, I love it. He's in a band and he came in and got right to talking about movies.
Yes,
I love it. Fantastic.
Nerd out, man.
And dude, you got a bar stool open here whenever
Anytime you want to.
I know what I was gonna say because I've been drinking a little bit.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say if you can, I've been studying recently all the Scorsese movies.
Oh yeah.
Do yourself a favor. Watch Raging Bull 3 times in a day.
Yeah. Nice.
Agree.
I don't know why I said that,
Absolutely.
but I did.
No, it's because it's good
alright.
shit. That's
It's
why.
alright.
Because they need to hear that.
Yeah.
Fucking hot team.
Dropping some
All
knowledge.
these
My
fucking
girlfriend's gonna make
assholes.
fun of me. I just ain't.
They need to hear that.
So I just want to say that recently there was a news report out that confirmed that Lyme disease was a lot of it was controlled by the United States government. They mutated it, and there was a lot of stuff that came out recently, and I want to give that my approval.
Okay.
I also want to thank all my friends for being here tonight. I want to thank
No problem.
I want to thank Mike Depko, dude. You like I said earlier, dude. You're a great guest.
Thanks, man.
It was a great show.
Thanks, guys.
Rodney Rush, thank you. And everybody who wants to check out old Awesome Talk episodes, go to Home Bar Productions on YouTube. You can friend us on Facebook. Awesome Talk.
Jesus Christ, Stones, put up the YouTube banner. There's a button. It says YouTube Camp.
Epic.
F3.
You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Awesome Talk TV. Me and Sarah, we have a show on iTunes called Ice and the Face. You can find that also on
Ass and the
Facebook,
Foss.
on Twitter, and
thank you to Nevermore Designs who makes our beautiful.
Nevermore Designs!
You almost didn't do it.
Thank you so much.
I saved you.
Fuck
And
yeah!
if you would
And by the by,
if you would like to purchase one of these fashionable and functional Awesome Talk
With
mugs
your chat name on it.
with your
Or whatever
chat
the fuck you
name
want.
on it, custom, anything
Yeah.
you need,
Super custom.
t-shirts,
Super custom.
wallets, keys, or whatever the fuck you want, they will hook you the fuck up.
and I'd also like to say
Nevermoredesigns.com.
thank you to Harold Ramis for a lifetime
Yes.
of great
Yeah.
comedy.
Thank you.
And just
great Harold
absolutely,
Representing
I know this is an old
Straight
shirt,
outta
but
84.
GB.
exactly,
right
it's a
here.
real deal. It's a real deal. But I wanted to thank him because he made people laugh for real.
He was a
good
funny
dude.
motherfucker.
He was a funny motherfucker. He was a great writer, a great director, and it's sad to lose him.
Yeah, he will be missed.
So,
Stripes and Knocked Up.
Knocked
Damn,
Up. He was
dude.
great in Knocked Up. That scene with him and Seth Rogen.
How about
was
Orange County?
fantastic.
There you go.
don't
Oh, yeah.
even fucking forget, yo. Don't even fucking forget.
All right. Well, with that all being
So anyway,
said, it is
John
time.
Lacki
All right.
from SuperTMH2.com.
Oh, boy.
This is
It's
the
time.
special final word before we go to the closing. Let's hear it, my
If we
friend.
could zoom in, it is time.
Yes.
And by the way, go to Home Bar Productions on Facebook and on YouTube. Go ahead.
Oh
Do it.
boy.
Perfect.
All right.
It's a good lead-in. It's a segue.
It's perfect.
Go for it.
All right.
SuperTMH2.com.
.com.
John Lacki.
All right. The U.S. Department of Agriculture recently recalled 8.7 million pounds of unwholesome meat, including boxes of beef carcasses, beef blood, and beef hearts.
Jesus.
Naturally, this also led to the recall of 2 flavors of Hot Pockets.
Of course.
Philly steak and cheese and croissant crust Philly steak and cheese. Rancho Feeding Corporation, the meat boys responsible for this nightmare,
Meat Boys.
Nightmare.
processed diseased and unsound animals and carried out these activities without the benefit of federal inspection. In other words, the inside of a Hot Pocket answers the question, what if meat could shit?
Oh my god. Hashtag what if meat could shit?
This recall has sent the Pocket-head community into a weird-smelling fervor. On the one hand, their favorite food could potentially kill them. On the other hand, dude, have you tasted the new croissant crust Philly steak and cheese? It's got everything you love about Philly without having to leave the pile of soiled mattresses under your mom's deck. So what happens if you've got a freezer full of tainted HPs? Not to worry, scientists have discovered a workaround. Step 1. Remove Hot Pockets from box. Next, place the empty box in a microwave and cook it on high for 3 minutes. Let stand for 1 minute, then chow down on that fucking box, bro. What are you so afraid of? There are also oven instructions, but no one in the history of food consumption has ever baked a Hot Pocket or its box unless it was accidentally left in the trunk of your car on a 98-degree day. During the course of this...
Still good.
Still good. During the course of writing this story, I discovered some Hot Pox fun facts. For example, did you know that the signature flaky crust contains 100% of your recommended daily intake of inmate skin? With every bite, you're reducing the prison population and saving the taxpayers millions. Another fun fact. You know what they call a Hot Pocket in France? Douille terrible, which, when translated back to English, means terrible sleeve. Why rename it when there are words for both hot and pocket in French? Look, I don't make the fun facts, okay? I just read them. Here, you want a better fun fact? Fine. Fun fact number 3. When eating a Hot Pocket, if you listen very closely, you can actually hear your digestive system wince and shrug as if to say, okay, wow, I guess we're really doing this right now. Okay. But in all seriousness, we made it through controversial meat situations before. We'll make it through this one too. Remember pink slime? Remember when we as a nation were like, ew, gross, pink slime, I would never eat that. Oh, cool, a 30-cent hamburger.
30 cents is cheap.
That's pretty low. Meat will rebound from this, Meat will rebound from this stronger than ever. I guarantee, in 20 years, we'll be sitting around this very bar, having the time of our lives, sucking down the latest meat tech. We'll be like, hey man, pass me some of that Flavor 7 Fun Sludge. And, whoa dude, send me some of that Flavor 7B Hot and Spicy Fun Sludge. In the meantime, I'll be dreaming up future meat conversations, thanks to the fumes coming off of this box of diseased beef hearts.
That was the best one. John Lacki, superteamhq.com. Hey yo, everybody, thank you very much. Awesome Talk Season 2, Episode 5 on February 25th, 2014. And we are done for the night.
Johnny Lack.
Mike Depko, Johnny Lacki, and Rodney Rush from Breaking Bad calls in. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night.
I got news for you. It's already here.